You're watching high school football on My TV 30 as we welcome you into Sumner County for a Region 6 5A showdown. The 3-3 Hendersonville Commandos host the 3-4 Station Camp Bison. On the Tennessee Army National Guard Friday night rivals presented by UA Local 572. It is great to be back under the Friday night lights. That is the former Vanderbilt Commodore Bruno Reagan. I'm Lucas Panzico. We are glad to have you here with us as it is week 9. Both of these teams looking to take that next step towards home field advantage in the playoffs, Bruno. And tonight we get two offensive profiles that couldn't be more opposite.
Absolutely. This is going to be a battle of philosophy that even the ancient Greeks might have a question about. So stay tuned because it's going to be the pass-heavy offense of Station Camp and the run-heavy offense of Hendersonville.
No doubt about that. If there's anything the ancient Greeks prophesized, it's this matchup here at Hendersonville High School. So let's look at the keys to the game for Station Camp coming in, defending a wing T offense that Hendersonville deploys. Got to get guys to the ground and fly to the football.
Absolutely. First guy, you're supposed to wrap up. Second guy, you're going to secure the tackle, bring him down. Third guy, it's your job to look for the football, but it takes more than one. So if you're only going 1-to-1, that wing T is going to wear them down going into the fourth.
Meanwhile, Hendersonville wants to keep that high-flying Station Camp passing attack off the field. The best defense for the Commandos, Bruno, might be offense.
Absolutely. They're going to look to control time of possession. They're going to be efficient. They're not going to try and go for any explosive plays right off the rip. Don't expect anything super pretty out there. They're going to play Hendersonville Commandos football, and they're going to trust it all the way to the whistle.
All right, it is senior night here at Hendersonville as well, crunch time late in the regular season, so let's look at our key players. It's the dueling quarterbacks for these different offensive systems. Station Camp comes in with the high-flying junior quarterback, Colton Overby. He's already broken multiple records in Station Camp history. He's on.
I know, he's going to take it from my good friend, Vanderbilt alum Kyle Anderton, also Austin P alum, but Overby has done a terrific job. He's been the real figurehead of this systematic change to a pass-heavy spread offense. So they rely on him, and it's, going to be history tonight on My TV 30.
And his counterpart tonight for Hendersonville, Christopher Jordan, part of a dual quarterback system, leads the Commandos in rushing touchdowns, operates this wing T offense.
The thing about Christopher is if you're the player to watch as a quarterback in a wing T offense, none of that really makes sense if you understand. But wing T is a heavy run offense, but he has his role in it, and he does a good job commanding it. He's our player to watch for Henderson.
Oh, we couldn't ask for a better night for it. Kickoff is just ahead, but first let's bring in the third member of our crew, Sammy Kincaid, with an injury update.
Hey guys, for the Bart Durham injury law injury update, let's start out on the Station Camp side of the ball. They've got two players out tonight. Out tonight will be right guard Alex Inez. He is out with a hand injury. Also out tonight is running back, outside linebacker Matthew Dickens. He is out with a knee injury that he suffered since the Lebanon game. That is a big loss for the Bison. Out tonight for Hendersonville is Braylon Velasquez. He is out with a foot injury that he suffered against Summit. He's their lead tackler, so Coach says that they hope to get him back before the end of the season. That's your Bart Durham injury law injury update. Whenever we come back from break, we're going to have a whole lot more for you. Kickoff, coin toss. Stick with us. We'll be right back.
is week 9, and the Hendersonville Commandos are celebrating senior night as they host the Station Camp Bison. It is a Region 6 5A clash. Both teams coming out of the bye week looking to take a big step towards home field advantage in the postseason. Station Camp comes in on the heels of 4 straight losses. They're looking to get right on the road against a region opponent. Glad to have you with us tonight in Sumner County on My TV 30. Should be a fun matchup, a great crowd on hand. But before kickoff, let's send it down to the field for the Tennessee Army National Guard coin toss. Tom Ritter, our white hat tonight. Station Camp wearing the white jerseys with the gray helmets. Hendersonville in their home gray jerseys with the black helmets. And with only 3 games remaining in the regular season, it is crunch time for both of these programs in the 5A class, both with eyes towards a deep postseason run. Lucas Panzica, Bruno Reagan with you in the booth tonight. Sammy Kincaid down on the sideline. We are happy to have you along for the ride on the Tennessee Army National Guard Friday Night Rivals, presented by UA Local 572.
Station Camp will be running out to receive the kick. I am a little worried about these uniforms. They look awfully similar. But at least Hendersonville rocking the black domes for the night, senior night. They honored the entire fall sports senior class tonight, so it was a gauntlet pregame, but they got it over with, and the football players can now worry about the game.
It's a beautiful night for it, too. Week 9, a late October matchup for the 18th meeting between Hendersonville and Station Camp. Hendersonville with a dominant lead in the series, 15-2. They have not met since 2018, which is the last time they were in the same region. But joined up after reclassification in the offseason and ready to kick us off tonight is Hendersonville kicker Gardner Olson. He'll boot it deep, and we are underway in week 9 on My TV 30. Coming out left to right is Eric Ginther, the dangerous Station Camp receiver, weaves his way across the 35. Hendersonville saying the ball is out, and they've got it. What's the ruling on the field? Nothing official yet. Didn't see who came up with the football. It will remain with Station Camp. No turnover to start things off here in week 9.
Man, Lucas, that was awfully close. It looked like the ball was on the way out from up here at least, unless we can get a replay on that. But it did look like there was a potential for that to be a turnover. Would have been a huge play for Hendersonville. We can see the ball right there. And, oh, that is so close, because I believe the Station Camp right hand would have been down. That was Ginther Eric returning the kick. I think his right elbow might have been down before the ball started to come out.
Angel Fuentes came out with it, but it is Station Camp football, and they get to give it to Colton Overby, the junior quarterback who is putting up numbers this year. His next completion could give him the school record for career passing yards, and it's broken up deep left. Incomplete on 1st and 10, looking for his favorite target, Eric Ginther, his fellow junior. And they're looking to break that record in style. Colton Overby coming into this game, completing 60% of his passes, 1,469 yards, 11 touchdowns to 4 interceptions. And only as a junior, Bruno, he is 4 yards away from breaking that career passing yards record in Station Camp history. He'll drop back deep on 2nd and 10. Under pressure, has to wheel out of bounds. He's bumped out there. Station Camp wants a flag for a late hit. They have not gotten one, and it doesn't look like they will. A pickup of 2, and it brings up 3rd and 8.
Man, that looked like a late hit to me, but again, the game is fast, and I'm not going to be upset for it being a little too physical out there. So the refs are going to set the standard for how this game goes.
E.J. Simmons made the hit, and it's another chance for Overby to break that record, but more importantly for Station Camp here to pick up a first down on the opening drive. And launching it deep, but whistles will blow the play dead. Got a stop and start beginning to this game. Tom Ritter and his crew handling things tonight. False start will back it up 5 yards. And that'll make it 3rd and 13 on the opening series for Station Camp. Behind the chains on drive number 1.
Man, I'm really surprised with Hendersonville. They've come out and they're playing just true man on the edges with Overby in this station camp passing attack, but it's a high-risk, high-reward scenario that has worked out for Hendersonville, at least in this first series. Still a chance with third and about 14 to 15.
Overby, the lefty, lobs over the middle of the field, off the mark for his intended receiver, Luca Gilbert, and it's a 3-and-out to open things up. Hendersonville's defense gets off the field, and the Commandos force the punt.
Overby trying to take that record in the first series, doesn't get a completion. Hendersonville doing a good job, almost forcing that fumble on special teams, forcing a 3-and-out. Penalties on the station camp side of the football. Things seem to be going their way. Good field position on this return.
Gavin Hastings will boot it away. It is Aiden Meadows back deep for Hendersonville on a high punt into the Sumner County night that will bounce and roll down at about the 36 for Hendersonville's opening series tonight. The Commandos 3-3, led by head coach James Beasley in his 8th season, running this wing tee out of the gun, and Christopher Jordan, the junior quarterback, gets the start tonight. It's been a dual quarterback system. Hendersonville just riding the hot hand, whether it's Christopher Jordan or Hugo Minor, but Jordan, a capable runner, and he'll put it in the air occasionally, but there's no doubt what the identity of Henderson football has always been here, Bruno, since the early 40s.
Absolutely. They do have an identity. There's a lot of history and culture, more on that later. Hendersonville is definitely one of those mainstays in Middle Tennessee football.
Out of the gun, Jordan pulls the ball and gets swallowed up. Station camp recognizing it immediately as he was faking the give, it looked like, to his running back, or fullback rather, Tate Rumney, and pulling it into a loss.
The key to the game for Station Camp was the fly of the football. We can see that two different people are being tackled by two different. That was Brady Dolan, the outside linebacker for Station Camp, making the actual play, but you can see the mentality that Station Camp and their defense is going to have tonight. They tackled two different people with multiple people, right? So it's, hey, if they even look like they have a football, swarm, swarm, swarm.
This wing tee and offense that Station Camp hasn't really had to defend quite yet this season. Of course, the same with the inverse, with Station Camp's pass-heavy offense being something Hendersonville hasn't seen much of. They ruled it no gain to bring up 2nd and 10, but whistles again before the snap with the flag down. Ran out of time on the play clock, so both offenses dealing with a 3rd and long on the opening drive. This will make it 3rd and 15 for Hendersonville.
Yeah, I filed those type of motions as anything where it's 4 or more people moving at the same time is an explode motion, and Hendersonville went for an explode motion right there, trying to get anything, and it looked like Station Camp adjusted well in that explosive motion. They're still playing that on the edges too, relying on that anti-run defense.
Correction, 2nd and 15 for the Commandos, and now Jordan will be able to pull and run for a gain. He's wrestled down. Just trying to get back to the original line of scrimmage, wasn't quite able to do so as Braden Chastain got him to ground, and now it'll bring up 3rd and long, 11 to go.
You can see the contrasting styles here between football. Station Camp, they're spread. They have 5 people on the line of scrimmage. Everyone else is widened out, and they're going to the ball quick. They want to use that tempo to their advantage. Hendersonville, they're the wing tee, right? And if you don't know what that is, it's essentially an 80 to 90% run-heavy offense, and they're going to use every bit of the clock they can on every single play, hence the delay of game.
Jordan does have 33 pass attempts this year, but not here. Gives to Rumney. He's got room near midfield. Tate Rumney's got the first down. Forward progress stops him. Caden Moore credited with the tackle, but a 14-yard pickup. They needed 11, and Tate Rumney, the lead rusher for the Commandos this season, picks it up. A BMC Metalworks first down.
Does it out of the gap schemes. They have the power right there where they're pulling their backside guard, and he ends up actually hitting it in the backside. The hole can open up anywhere, and that's what Hendersonville's going to do. Even at 3rd and long situations, they will attempt to run the football.
Averages nearly 7 yards per carry, Tate Rumney. Came into the game with 421 rush yards on the season. Now Jordan will roll on the play action. Somehow escapes the pressure. Spin move at the logo, but he is brought for a loss. Loss loss of 1 or move the spot back, actually make it a loss of 2, 2nd and 13.
On the one hand, a great job getting out there and just being able to move on the fly. He does avoid a lot of tackles on the adverse side of the football. I mean, Station Camp did a great job swarming him. If Station Camp can play this level of defense, this level of pursuit, 11 men all going to the line of scrimmage, trying to either TFL or no gain on whoever the ball rusher is, they're going to have a great time, but they got to do it for fourth quarters.
On the option, it's pitched out to Rumney. He's got space and tackled from behind. Chased down by Jameer Alexander, and it sets up another 3rd down for Hendersonville. Big point of emphasis for Station Camp defensively coming into this week. Missed tackles. It's plagued them during this 4-game losing skid, and feels like you can tell here on the opening defensive series.
And that's a good point that you brought up, Lucas, because missed tackles are going to be it hurts at any level of football. But when you're playing against a wing team like Hendersonville, where you have to cover so many options out of the backfield, if you miss one tackle, that might be enough where you don't have someone behind you and it gets someone off into the races.
3rd and 4 after the gain of 8, and Rumney is hammered. Tanner Begley shot out of a cannon. Drops him for a loss, and it brings up 4th and long. And we'll see what the decision is for the Commandos.
That was a stoic.
James Beasley looking on in year 8 at his alma mater. Class of 1998 here at Hendersonville High School. Replaced the legendary Bruce Hatfield 8 years ago after a 20-year run. And able to get this punt away is Levi McCreary avoiding the rush. So Station Camp team that has blocked multiple punts this season, but not that one. And the Bison will get it back inside the 30 when we come back. Week 9 on MyTV 30, scoreless early. You know, at some places, it just feels a little more special. And Hendersonville High School is one of those places in Middle Tennessee. Our Bart Durham Injury Law National Anthem moment before kickoff of this senior night affair, Week 9. Hendersonville hosting the Station Camp Bison. We are thrilled to have you along for the ride for this Region 6 5A matchup right here on the Tennessee Army National Guard Friday Night Rivals, presented by UA Local 572. James Beasley leading his Commandos, coming out of the bye week with a 3-3 record. But Station Camp, after both teams trade punts, comes back out on offense. Colton Overby, again needing 4 yards for a school record, tries to dump it down, escaping pressure, and falls at the feet of Reggie Brown. Hendersonville getting after Overby early.
And it's a little, they're not bringing too much pressure either. This is just their base rush and base defense. I think that's just a symptom of winning on the edge with man coverage, and it's just allowing the interior guys to get after Beasley a little too much on the rush.
Overby with the straight drop and completes out to the 31-yard line. And that right there will give him the record on a pickup of 4. He now ties the school record for career passing yards. As we look at our BMC Metalworks starting lineups, Eric Ginther, the lead receiver for this Station Camp group. Overby on the run, dashes out of bounds, takes another hit there. No flags. He picks up about 2 on the play. And it will bring up another 4th down. So with that 4-yard completion, as now a flag does come in. And no, check that. There is no laundry on the field. Station Camp will punt it away. Here are the Hendersonville defensive starters. E.J. Simmons stepping into a bigger role tonight. Number 21, the linebacker. I'll tell you more about that a little bit later. So Hastings back out to boot it away. Another high punt that Meadows will watch bounce out of bounds. And a slow start for both offenses here in week 9.
Yeah, definitely a battle of attrition right now, but Hendersonville just coming out of the edge a little bit. They start after forcing a 3-and-out, they start their first series on the 35. Now they're starting their second series on the 45. So ever so slightly, we're going to trickle to one of these other teams hitting the score. And it's, as we take a look at both head coaches preparing for what could be a close defensive battle, we'll see. I'm sure both of these offenses will pick up, especially because defenses do such a great job coming out, being strong. But once you get to late into the second, third, fourth quarter, that's where defenses struggle to keep that level of play.
A lot of connections between both of those head coaches as well that we'll get to. Chris Bain, you saw on the left side of your screen, in year 3 as the head coach at Station Camp, as Jordan is swallowed up on first down. Chastain knifing in on the stop, and it's a loss of 2 for Hendersonville. Both of these teams trying to pick up some late season momentum out of the bye week. For Hendersonville, the Commandos really had to grow into the season after losses in weeks 1 and 2. But they've won 3 of their last 4. For Station Camp, it's been a little bit of the opposite with 4 consecutive defeats. Ball is out. Station Camp is on it, and the Bison take over with the game's first turnover. A fumble lost by Jordan is recovered by Tanner Begley, and Station Camp will take over in plus territory.
It looks like it was pulled and just not secured enough. You can see right there, that's number 54, Begley Tanner. He was stretched out like the Titans on that last play against the Rams in the Super Bowl, backwards, grabbing it one-handed, and he does come up with it. No Hendersonville Commandos were on the football anyways. That could have been 6.
Braden Chastain forced it out, and we'll see if that can kickstart the Station Camp passing attack. With good field position, Overby brings a man in motion, wings it out to that side. It's a double pass going downfield and intercepted. Hendersonville snatches it right back. Caden Moore with the downfield pass, and Luke Carr on senior night. The leader of this Hendersonville defense was Johnny on the spot.
I saw this play developing, and the corner actually went in on the pressure, and that's the safety coming over the top. It should have been, if you have a stronger arm, you can take that over the top. But Ginther Eric had to come back for that one, and Luke Carr was already in the ball's path. It was, it looked like a well-designed play, but just not able to be executed to the way they needed it to be.
1st and 10, Hendersonville.
Playing hot potato with the football right now.
On their own 38. Keep it on the ground. A little seam up the middle. Rumney, the sophomore back, almost hides behind his blocker, right? Rumney, the 5'9", 150-pound sophomore, just kind of disappears after the ball is snapped. And and he rips off a 6-yard gain there.
That's extremely smart football. Linebackers need to see more. They need to see the way your hips are pointing. They need to see the way that you're distributing your weight, your shoulders. And if they can't see any of that, they can't make the proper reads.
They go right back to Rumney here up the middle as he is able to spin down to near midfield to the 49. It is enough for a BMC Metalworks first down.
Yep, they're just falling on this one back, just this one puller power right here. Everyone else, their only job is to either down block or get in between on the wall.
Hendersonville now looking to throw as they put Hugo Minor into the game at quarterback. The better passer of the two, and he completes his first attempt. Right over the middle, Will Jackson on the receiving end, a first down pass.
What a great job, too. You see so many young quarterbacks just eye the throw down. He takes his 2 steps, and on the back foot step, he gets the ball out. It's exactly what you need out of the quarterback, especially against a defense who's used to just stuffing the run for about 10 to 12 plays. Now they have to deal with a quarterback that can throw.
They really like Minor's arm, and he's completed nearly 67% of his passes this season as he gives to Rumney, who is swarmed in the backfield for a loss. Take a quick look at the Hendersonville offensive starters. They came out with Christopher Jordan at quarterback, Hugo Minor now in the game in this dual QB system. And we've seen a healthy dose of Tate Rumney there, number 3. But in this wing T, guys get moved all around. And the Commandos do share the football. 7 guys have had 10 or more carries so far this season. But we've gotten a whole lot of number 3 early in this game toting the rock.
Absolutely. He was the spark they needed to get going, but Hendersonville does a good job of relying on a lot of different athletes to pick up the slack. That can be great for 4-quarter football.
And Minor is sacked in the backfield. Trayson Pettis swarms in, the junior defensive lineman. And after a promising start to the drive, the Commandos head backwards.
Yeah, Trayson Pettis just getting into the backfield out of his defensive lineman position. Let's take a look at the defensive starters, Lucas.
The lead tackler of this defense, Lucas Heath, the safety back deep. But they have got experienced playmakers on every level. Will Stevens, number 35 at linebacker, who does not come off the field. And we just saw Pettis with the sack for the 7-yard loss as they screen it out to Rumney. Flag is out on the tackle. And Hendersonville just may get bailed out here with a face mask on what would have been a 4th and long. Tackle was made by Braden Chastain, who forced the fumble on the last Hendersonville possession.
Yeah, it looks like Braden just got a little bit of the face mask on his way down. It's going to be a big get-out-of-jail card for this Hendersonville offense.
Tom Ritter and his crew. As the Commandos pick up a free first down.
Personal foul, face mask, defense, 15-yard penalty. The yardage is still short of the line of game. We'll replay 3rd down.
So it is not an automatic first down. A spot foul in high school football. They will still have to play for the first, but made much more manageable here.
Yeah, you can see Braden Chastain just getting a little bit too much of a face mask as he was reaching to make that play. And I don't know if it would have been better or not because there was some open field there that Hendersonville could have used. But they still have to convert this 3rd and short. Referee stop it.
3rd and inches is what it looks like. And you wonder if they'll be discussing spot back. So after the 15-yard penalty on 3rd and long, it will make it 3rd and 1. Well, maybe not. Giving this offense a spark. And what's been an early stalemate so far. And Station Camp ready for that run up the middle. Clogging up the middle of that defensive line, Rylan Keith, a senior who's starting to collect some FCS looks. Team leader in sacks this season at 6'4", 239 pounds, and he forces a 4th and short.
That listing's correct. You have a chance to build into offers at a 6'4" frame. Now, what a lot of high schoolers do is they exaggerate a little bit. But he does look like a man amongst boys out there from his defensive end position.
I can't imagine you would have done something like that.
I didn't.
Up the middle, Ford Proctor getting his first carry. And it's going to be close. Station Camp saying it's a turnover on downs.
I think it's going to come down to a measurement, Lucas. Get ready to bring the chains out.
Chris Bain saying it's Bison football, and it is. No need to bring out the chains. Station Camp, after giving up the face mask, stop a 3rd and 4th and 1, and they take over in their own territory. Defensive struggle early between Station Camp and Hendersonville.
Welcome back to Hendersonville High School as they host Station Camp. And I'm currently joined by Staff Sergeant John Trisdell. First off, thank you so much for your service, and thank you for joining me down here. And can you tell me how the Tennessee Army National Guard is different from other military branches?
Yeah, absolutely. Like other branches, we have a federal mission, but our motto is live here, serve here. So our main priority is the community and the state of Tennessee.
And what jobs can somebody have in the Tennessee Army National Guard?
We have a lot of different jobs. We have combat arms, IT, communications, medical, aviation, so many different career paths.
A lot of different career paths, a lot of different ways that somebody can go. And everyone talks about the benefits whenever you're in the military, but what benefit is specific to the Tennessee Army National Guard?
A specific benefit for us is the Tennessee Strong Act. It pays full tuition at any public university in the state, and it's very unique to our branch.
That is an absolutely incredible opportunity. And again, thank you so much for your service, and thank you so much to the Tennessee Army National Guard for being a sponsor of Friday Night Rivals. Guys, up to you.
Thanks, Sammy. We are happy to be here at Hendersonville High School, our gracious hosts here in Week 9 on Friday Night Rivals. And a huge thanks, of course, to the Tennessee Army National Guard for everything they do for us on these broadcasts. Station Camp comes out after forcing the turnover on downs. It's a handoff wheeling around the left side for Colin Gillespie, the lead running back for the Bison. You know, we cover so much ground on Friday Night Rivals, and we go to so many programs, Bruno, that in the grand scheme of things are fairly new to the area. You love to see it, the expansion, the growth of high school football. It's also cool to come to the places that have been playing for almost 85 years as Colton Overby barrels over the 40-yard line to get near the first down marker.
No, absolutely. I mean, when I was growing up in high school, you would hear all the time about the Hendersonville Commandos. Now, I know there's a lot of different stories that have come up in that time between now and then. A lot of new schools popping up. I'm from Clarksville, one of the fastest growing cities. But it is always nice to see such a community-centered atmosphere like they have in Hendersonville. It really makes me proud to be a Tennessean.
And forward progress by those Commandos. Marks Overby short of the first down to bring up a 4th and short. So now Station Camp will elect to stay on the field and go for it. From their own 40-yard line, Overby in the gun. The junior quarterback who has a lot of responsibility over this offense. He's been starting for the Bison since the latter part of his freshman year. For that man there, Chris Bain, in his 3rd season. Overby under immediate pressure on 4th down, escapes it, tosses downfield, incomplete. No, it's caught. It is caught by Caden Moore, and with that completion, Colton Overby is now the all-time leading passer in Station Camp history. That is a 17-yard pitch and catch, and what a play made by Moore.
He steals it. Caden Moore steals it from his own teammate, too.
And they're going to go deep one more time down the right side, looking for Fitz, and that's incomplete with only 5.5 ticks left on the first quarter clock. So Overby now with 21 yards on the night, 2 of 7 passing. He came in needing 4 to break the record, Bruno, and he has done that. What a career he has had, and the junior quarterback still has a whole other year plus.
Yeah, it's probably just a weight off the shoulders. Now you get to, it's something that just rests in your subconscious. Anybody can say, oh, I don't think about that, I don't think about Lucas. I'm here to tell you, they all think about it all the time, okay? So it's good that to achieve it and now build a new record.
There's a few more he's building towards as well as he'll tuck and run here. Overby, the lead rusher for the Bison, head of steam across the 25. Still up, Colton Overby cannot go down, and he finally does inside the red zone. So providing a spark with a 25-yard carry. And now Station Camp starting to pick up some momentum on offense as they close out the first quarter. Knocking on the door are the Bison on the road. Station Camp in the red zone for the first time tonight as we start the second quarter of this scoreless matchup. And the Bison, under head coach Chris Bain, on the backs of 4 straight losses. But when you look at those losses, Bruno, a combined record of those 4 opponents, 24-3, including an undefeated Lebanon squad. Bye week came at a good time for the Bison, said Coach Bain this week, and they're coming out of it to travel to Hendersonville here tonight. But man, what a gauntlet when you look at these last 4 games.
And you hear what coaches say sometimes when it's like, man, we're right there, man, we're right there. And you kind of give them that eye, like, are you? Coach Bain, they're right there. They really are right there. So you're hoping to see them maybe a chance to get over that hump tonight against a good Hendersonville Commandos squad.
Well, he gave his kids credit. He said their confidence has not wavered one iota through those 4 games. They still believe they can share the field with anybody and get a win. And they're finally picking up some momentum early on offense here. Slow start for both units as Overby tucks and run down the left side and is bumped out of bounds before he gets to the 10. It's a slow start for the junior quarterback as well, but we've seen things pick up here at the end of the first quarter and getting into the second.
Yeah, the completion percentage isn't pretty. They took some shots against Hendersonville's man coverage, but Colton Overby is running. This is a very physical football game going down the field right now. This is Middle Tennessee football.
They're going to hand off here. Gillespie looking to get the edge. Chopped down on that side by Will Jackson. So it remains 4 downs to go to pick up the first. 3rd down. for Chris Bain, who coached here a long time at Hendersonville as an assistant. Now is the third ever head coach in station camp history. Third and 4 for a station camp offense that started the season red hot. Looking to get back to that place after a 3-0 start. Overby under pressure, just lets go of the football as he's hit. They will call it incomplete, but officials will confer here to see if grounding should be the call. Station camp saying there was a receiver in the area. Aiden Blum provided the hit at linebacker, and it will be 4th down, no flag.
Yeah, you see the football. It crosses the line, the original line of scrimmage, and we'll take a look if there's a station camp player in the area. Man, that is pushing it. We are on a football field in an area, but that looked a little far for myself.
4th and 4. No doubt decision from Chris Bain. They're going to go. Hendersonville crowd starting to get involved here at Memorial Stadium. Timeout on the field. Station camp wants to talk about it. They'll take their first timeout of the half, and we'll take it with them. Scoreless early. The Bison facing a 4th and 4 in the red zone when we return.
Sponsor Bard Works will to thank tonight's participating high schools and their administrators for their continued. You viewers at home, and we'd especially viewers at home, and we'd especially. All of us would like to take a moment to thank the wonderful sponsor partners Sonic, Tennessee Army National Guard, South College, Bard Durham Injury Law, Western Kentucky University, BMC Metalworks, Wilson Bank and Trust, Josh Houston and Associates, and UA Local 572, who through their contributions to the program make these games possible for you viewers at home.
Region 6 5A battle. Early second quarter here in week 9. James Beasley and his Hendersonville Commandos looking to come up with a stop on a 4th and 4 as station camp now will send out the kicking unit. Saw the offense on the field. Station camp head coach Chris Bain, who you see on the left, took the timeout. And they will bring out Gavin Hastings to attempt the first points of the night. Well within his range. Hastings set to attempt here from 29 yards. He set a school record earlier this year from 48, so this is absolutely within the abilities of the junior kicker. From the left hash, and it's good. Station camp opens the scoring, 3-0. Early second quarter here at Hendersonville.
I think that's a good call. I know you traveled down the field, and Overby has a lot of, game-setting runs with the pace that they had on that series. But just to get first on the board, even if you want to look at it from an analytical point of view, I know a lot of people how they feel about that. But scoring first gives you the best chance, probability-wise, to come out with a win in a football game. I know both these teams have traded turnovers. Whoever ends up winning that turnover margin, it's going to be a close game regardless. But I think that's going to be the difference going forward.
So station camp comes up with points. We've already seen multiple turnovers in this game, one for each team. A fumble from Hendersonville, an interception from station camp on a double pass. High stakes when you look at the Region 6 standings right now in the 5A class. It doesn't seem like it's so much about making the postseason, Bruno. It's one of the smaller regions in the mid-state, but home field advantage comes into play here, and you got to be in the top 2 to get to that mark. Huge one tonight for both of these squads.
Absolutely, both squads with a chance to get to that home field advantage. But this is really this is where it matters, I guess, in the sense of playoff implication for the season, is this game from here on out.
Station Camp looking to take a big step under Chris Bain after going 6-6 each of his first 2 seasons and picking up a playoff win in each of those seasons, looking to make a bit of a deeper run in 2025. Kickoff is fielded by Meadows in the end zone, and Hendersonville will have a chance to respond down 3. We'll see which quarterback comes out for the Commandos on this series. Christopher Jordan got the start. Hugo Minor came in and brought a bit of a spark. And it will be the man who started the ball game, Christopher Jordan. He hands off to the man in motion. Luke Carr spun down, gained maybe 1 or 2 on the play.
Play was made there by Zach Allen out of Station Camp, coming in from his secondary position down to the line of scrimmage, still swarming to the football well into the second quarter is the Station Camp defense. Hendersonville doing a good job moving the ball in offense, but coming up short on that 4th down where they had 2 opportunities to get 1 yard really did hurt.
Pitch play on 2nd and 9. Rumney has room to operate with. He's across the 30. A bullet train down to the 35. It is a Bart Durham injury law first down for Hendersonville. Let's send it down to Sammy Kincaid.
Prime time high school football tradition, you guys. At the end of Thursday practice, Station Camp, they collect creek water from Station Camp Creek. It's a short walk from the field, and this is tradition started by former Station Camp head coach and current Hendersonville High School defensive coordinator Sean Hollingsworth. It's almost like whenever you're in elementary and there's a class pet and you get to have the class pet for a week and then you give it to your classmate. Well, that's how it is with Station Camp. They give it to their teammate. It is a glass jar of that creek water, and they pour it onto the field before each home and away game. It's really to mark their territory. They say, we don't care where we're playing. We're going to play like this is our field. And so today they brought it behind the goalpost and they dumped it onto the middle of the field right before kickoff. And so this is what you think about whenever you think of high school football, you guys.
Thanks, Sammy. Yeah, it is a really cool tradition that Station Camp does before each and every game, started by that man, as you said, Sean Hollingsworth, former head coach, longtime head coach of the Station Camp Bison, now coaching the defensive side of the ball for Hendersonville. And you can find connections like that all across this matchup here in Sumner County as Jordan dumps it down. Meadows on a second effort hangs onto the football and is hit out of bounds. That makes up the penalty yardage. Brings up 2nd down.
Still 10 minutes left in the second quarter, but I guarantee you if Hendersonville plays the football they want to, they'll score with about 2 minutes left on the clock. That's the style of offense that James Beasley has kept going in a long-standing history of Hendersonville Commando squads.
Rumney gets the give here and accelerates across the 45. Looks like he's got just enough to move the chains. Tate Rumney off to a nice start, 47 yards on 9 carries.
Yeah, me and Lucas were talking before the game. We were just like, who are the guys to watch? It can really go to anybody when we talk about our player of the game coming up in the fourth quarter. But Tate Rumney really making a name for himself on the Hendersonville side of the football.
So the Commandos starting to chip away a little bit. Last drive ended in a turnover on downs near midfield. Rumney sidelined here for 1st and 10. Ford Proctor in the game, but it will be Jordan who runs it up to the 49.
Late flag flying in from the Station Camp secondary. It looks like it'll probably be a personal foul.
The call here from Tom Ritter. Going to be against Hendersonville, and they'll back it up.
It looked to be a hit after the whistle on the top side of the field on the station camp visitor side. Let's take a look. Standing around the huddle. Yep, cleaning the huddle. Now, back in the day, that was coached. Okay, that was coached, and they're going to call that on Tegan. Excuse me, Lucas, can you throw me an alley-oop real quick? Thank you. Gosh, once again, this is my favorite trope. One of us graduated from a top. Never mind. But, hey, that's the way I was coached to play around the pile. I know all the old heads out there watching the broadcast. You guys know those days.
2nd and 20 after the penalty. Quick pitch. Before he reaches the 35-yard line, Proctor is hit by Chastain, who is flying all over the field tonight for the station camp defense.
And the station camp defense needs it. You can see Hendersonville. They're surprisingly spreading it out a lot. I thought they've had their best success out of that one pulling power they've had out of the guard position up the middle, but they're trying to spread it out. They're trying to keep the station camp defense honest from multiple parts of the field. They're running to the short side, to the far side when they're away from the hash, so trying a lot of different things on offense tonight.
Still 3rd and 20. Tough spot for this wing T offense. Jordan, more of the running quarterback between the two, and he's got some room here to midfield, makes up the penalty yardage, and gets a yard into station camp territory. It brings up 4th and 4, a much more manageable situation for the Commandos.
And Jordan, right at the end of that play, it looked like he might have had just enough space to get the extra 5 yards. The offense is staying on the field so far, trusting their quarterback, Christopher Jordan.
This is about the area where Hendersonville went for it in the last series on 4th and 1. And we're stuffed up the middle. We'll see what the Commandos have in their back pocket here. After station camp's field goal drive opened up the scoring, handoff up the middle, Rumney, and he's not going to get close to the first down. Picks up maybe a yard. Either way, station camp once again takes over near midfield.
They're getting way too much vertical pressure on the defensive line for station camp. I mean, they're blowing by. Yeah, take a look at this line of scrimmage right here. You want to see on a 4th down play, there are 4 white jerseys in the backfield. You, as an offensive lineman, you have to control the line of scrimmage. We have a saying, right? Defensive linemen make TFLs, linebackers make tackles. So you have to make sure you get the defensive line secured. And a great job by station camp to find the space and force the pressure to force another turnover.
Bison offense back out onto the field. Great field position for the junior quarterback. And Overby with an easy completion over the middle to Caden Moore. His junior classmate. That's one thing about the station camp offense. So many junior playmakers that are going to be doing it for the Bison next year.
A good throw by Overby, and it looked like, I think Caden Moore has had some issues with his helmet, but he's going to be able to stay on the field. It didn't come out fully.
9-yard pickup for a guy that's been playing ball with quarterback Colton Overby since the 5th grade. So quite a bit of chemistry there. That's his 26th catch of the season. Second and 1. Overby wings it out to the left side of the field to his number 1 receiver this season, Eric Ginther, another guy that's a part of that junior class that's been catching passes from Overby for quite a few years now. Plenty of chemistry in that throw.
Absolutely, chemistry with the placement and the timing on the route, but also just great job by Eric there to be able to toe drag 2 feet in.
Going quick here, station camp. Overby evades the pressure, and that ball's batted down by Aiden Meadows. It's funny, the challenge for both of these defenses to defend an offense that they haven't seen a lot of, kind of learning as the game goes on.
Yeah, you have to imagine, like, playing against an offense like Hendersonville, that's how most offenses are, so your training camp really prepares you for that. You are practicing against station camp on the offensive side of the football. Well, you're used to the spread, 5-man line of scrimmage. Hendersonville, you're used to the wing T, so it is a different style that you have to adapt to.
is incomplete, trying to get it off to Gavin Pennington out of the backfield. Senior back, unable to hang on. It brings up 3rd and 10. Now, Hendersonville saw something similar back in week 1, a 44-28 loss to Gallatin, part of the 0-2 start to the season for the Commandos, and they've used a lot of that film to prepare for this station camp offense. After the success that they gave up in that game, so far holding the Bison to 3 points. 3rd and 10, Overby. Again, faces immediate pressure, looking to throw on the run, and instead looks to pick up as much as he can as he's pushed out of bounds across the 35. Got back to the line of scrimmage, and it's 4th and 10.
Some extracurriculars back at the original huddle. Station camp player having to go off the field for losing his helmet. That was Brady Dolan out of the offensive line position. No flags on the field.
So a timeout on the field taken by station camp. Second one of the half, as they'll talk about this 4th and 10 on the Hendersonville 33. The Bison with the ball in an early 3-0 lead.
Tonight's broadcast of Friday Night Rivals can also be seen streaming live on mytv30web.com, Fox 17 Facebook Live, and YouTube. Brought to you by South College, where dreams find direction.
Midway through the second quarter at Hendersonville High School, senior night being celebrated here in this Region 6 5A matchup. Hendersonville trailing station camp 3-0, and the Bison have the football on a 4th and 10 on the Hendersonville 33. And after the second time out of the half from station camp, they're going to go. Need 10 yards to keep the drive alive. Too far for a field goal, too close for a punt. So Overby will put it in the air. Man behind the defense. Caught. Touchdown station camp. Chris Bain with the gamble, and it pays off. Luca Gilbert reels it in for a South College touchdown. 33 yards, and the Bison extend the lead.
That's a tough play to give up on 4th and long. The rusher's just a little bit too late, and they're playing this man coverage, so all Luca Gilbert has to do is just cut in between them, and he has the angle, and he created way too much space for that throw to even be contested, and it was on the money by Overby. No chance there to be defended.
Extra point is perfect from Hastings, and it's a 10-0 station camp lead. Colton Overby, who's already broken the career pass yards record tonight. He did it with his first completion of the night, and he throws his 12th touchdown pass of the 2025 season. Stay with us. The United States Navy halftime report coming up at the end of the second quarter, as we'll highlight this week's Sonic Scholar athletes, have participating school administrator interviews, plus highlights from here and across the country. Much more. United States Navy, forged by the sea. So this station camp offense finding its groove, coming off a much-needed bye week. according to head coach Chris Bain, he's got to like how his guys have responded after a slow start tonight.
Take a look at that Lucas Gilbert touchdown. Yeah, they just caught him on the edge, I think. I'm not sure they expected that touchdown level shot right there. They were just going to assume that, keep the defenders in front of you, but Lucas blowing right past that man coverage, finding the end zone. Station Camp going up 10-0. Still 6 minutes left before halftime.
Going 51 yards in 6 plays after stopping Hendersonville on a 4th and 4 near midfield. Hastings able to boot it into the end zone again for a touchback. So now Hendersonville down 2 scores for the first time tonight. And we've seen the Commandos start to pick up some momentum running the football, but just been stalling out around midfield. How do they sustain a little bit better here?
Well, I feel a little bit of shame, too, because I have been talking up their inside run game a little bit more than what they've been trying to do on the spreads. But those 4th and 1, 3rd and 1, and 4th and 5s, they've tried to run it up the middle, and they're just getting run up by the Station Camp defensive line. It looks like it could just be a lack of offensive plays.
Rumney scampers out near the 25-yard line. They've had the most success giving the ball to number 3 so far tonight. This is 11th carry. He's up to 51 yards.
Hendersonville is built for the longer the game goes. That rushing attack, it does leave a lingering effect on defenses where they get a little bit less eager to come out and keep, taking it to the head, taking it to the helmet, taking it to the chest. It does add up, but you don't get to see the fruits of those labors until typically midway through the 4th quarter.
Jordan fakes a give up the middle, pitches. It's a pass down the middle of the field. Man was there, but just couldn't bring it all together. Running free was Luke Carr, and it was drawn up well, but the Station Camp pressure influencing it just enough as Meadows didn't have time to get his pass off.
Yeah, what a great play. Hendersonville has tried 2 of these trick plays today, and both times it's been upended by secondary players that are blitzing into it, and that was Zach Allen right there for Station Camp. 5'8", 145 pounds out of the defensive back position.
Jordan puts it in the air, completes over the middle of the field, and that is a first down pitch and catch. So Carr, who was the intended man on the trick play, does end up moving the sticks for the Commandos. Bart Durham injury law, first down. Pickup of 9. Will Stevens rocking the old school neck plate. Station Camp linebacker. First and 10. Jordan pulls and runs. He's hit down at the 35. They give him 2 on the play.
Hendersonville is said to receive the football coming out of the second half, so they have an opportunity. They can go down, score, come out as the halftime score, and take a shift in momentum, so it's not too late. No need to hit the panic button yet.
Rumney scoots out with Caden Moore wrapped around his waist, and it brings up 3rd down. Spotted right at the 38-yard line. So that gives Hendersonville a 3rd and 5. Man, this feels like a big 3rd down opportunity for the Commandos.
Even if they don't get it, we've seen them take the opportunity to go for it on 4th. I don't think they would do it now with the trend of the game they've had so far and the field position, but you never know.
Jordan's going to throw, wanted to screen, but his man is down on the grass as he gets the pass off, and it falls incomplete to bring up 4th down. Tate Rumney going to the ground. And it looked like it was there for the taking, Bruno. A good play call by Anthony Lake, the offensive coordinator. Rumney just loses his footing.
Yeah, it looked like he got his legs tangled and then just couldn't get him back trying to get to the spot on the way out to the flat. And that's one, I mean, that's just haunting Hendersonville right now. They're just one play away on multiple series.
McCreary on to punt it away. Frustrating night so far for the Hendersonville offense. And it's fielded on the bounce at the 35-yard line by Colin Gillespie, who is still up. Gillespie across midfield gets a block, and he's stripped up in Hendersonville territory. There is a flag back about where Gillespie scooped it up on the bounce. Tough running by Colin Gillespie, the junior. 30-yard return, but we'll see if it gets wiped away.
It was almost too good to be true. Gosh, Colin almost ended up on the national highlight right there with that special teams play, but it is going to come back. It looks like there's two different flags on the field right now. It looks like both are going to go against Station Camp on the return.
Illegal block in the back. The 12 team. That penalty yards from the foul. It'll be Station Camp's ball, first down.
Braden Chastain called for the block in the back.
Yeah, that is a block in the back. Lucas, you have to be on the front side of that shoulder. That one is a block in the back. We saw one last week where I don't think it was a block in the back. He was on the front side coming back into the chest. That is legal. But if you're coming from the back side of the shoulder and don't create that front-leaning contact, that will get called every time. It was a good attempt, though.
Either way, this is good field position for Station Camp to start this drive. And Overby under pressure is swung down and sacked. He is sacked. Getting to him was Tegan Parasek, the junior defensive end, and loses one.
Tegan Parasek right in the middle of your screen, coming off on the right edge, actually. He's the left defensive end, playing some physical football.
Overby with the tempo, tucks and runs, and picks up two, bring up 3rd and 9. Hendersonville trying to get off the field, giving up a touchdown on a 4th and 10. Station Camp's last drive.
Station Camp, usually they're playing to the tempo. Now they're going to opt to let the clock run down. Hendersonville, they don't have a very good base offense to run in a 2-minute situation, but anything can happen in high school football.
Overby under pressure, lobs over the middle, looking for a catch and run opportunity for Moore. How about the speed from the junior? As he is out of bounds across the 35, deep into Hendersonville territory. Got the ball into the hands of his playmaker and let him do the rest for a 22-yard pickup and a first down.
Great job by Caden Moore. Watch him turn on the jets here. We've yet to see someone tonight really put on the burners. That's gear 5 right there. 1 block away from the end zone.
Flag flies as the ball is snapped. Overby ducks out of pressure, lobs, and completes. Tiptoeing down the sideline. Gavin Pennington, but we'll see what the penalty is. Flag came out right as the ball was being snapped, but the play was not blown dead.
All hints lead to a neutral zone infraction from Hendersonville, but we'll wait for the official call.
Would be a 10-yard pickup if it stands. Tom Ritter wants to talk about it some more.
Prior to the snap, encroachment defense, 5-yard penalty, 5.
So they will apply the penalty. So instead of the 10-yard pickup, James, they take the 5-yard penalty to make it a 1st and 5.
It's Station Camp with an opportunity to operate with a shorter field now on this series. Still a lot of time on the clock. Only one timeout, but they don't really need it with their style of offense.
Overby trying to extend the play, and the pressure impacts his throw, brings up 2nd and 5. So instead of the 10-yard pickup and a 1st and 10, Station Camp, like you said, opts to be a little more ahead of the chains, even if they're sacrificing 5 yards.
A whole new series of downs could be a big opportunity for this offense. All they need to do is basically complete a forward pass, and they'll get there.
Overby stating his case for the UA Local 572 player of the game. We'll tell you who it is in the 4th quarter. Escaping, throwing, and completing for a 1st down. The connection to Pierce Brown. Houdini in the house here at Hendersonville High School.
Pierce Brown doing a good job of taking a hard hit there from number 32 for Hendersonville.
12 players on the field. It's a snap. That penalty decline. Result of the play is a 1st down.
Would have been a 1st down either way with the penalty, but now they get a little bit extra yards with the catch from Pierce Brown. New York Times best-selling author on the field. That's an all-name team guy.
State zone on the 15. Faking the handoff, and Overby pulls it, but Hendersonville had it read all the way. As Gibson Blair throwing him down. Brings up 2nd down after the loss of 1.
We still got 2 minutes.
Clock ticking away. Hendersonville does have all 3 timeouts and will get the football to start the 3rd quarter. Overby looking to the end zone. Moore reels it in. Touchdown, Station Camp. Caden Moore. And the Bison passing attack is catching fire in this 2nd quarter. Moore pulls in his 6th touchdown of the season. And it is a 16-0 lead for Station Camp. A South College touchdown.
Caden Moore being the go-to guy, getting over the top again. I mean, they're playing man coverage against this spread passing attack is going to be just open season for Overby and his abilities to spread the field out. I know that he had Hendersonville's defense had some success early with their man coverage, but
Defense number 11, half the distance to the goal. We'll replay the try.
now we get half the distance to the goal, and if I'm an offensive coach, every time I'm like, all right, we go for it now, but it looks like Station Camp's going to opt to re-kick.
And they'll keep the extra point team on the field to make it a 3-score game. A little bit of early movement there. A.J. Spence called for it. So Gavin Hastings. And another penalty flag is down. Might be the exact same call here. Hendersonville trying to get a jump to keep it a 2-possession game and affect the PAT.
To the snap. Encroachment defense number 11. That penalty's declined. Reach from the 3-yard line.
I mean, the penalties decline, so at this point, just keep trying it. I mean, eventually you'll time the snap.
Yeah, Chris Bain said, I want this extra point no matter what. You can keep that flag. And the third time's the charm. Gavin Hastings' extra point is good, and it's all Station Camp here in Week 9 at Hendersonville. Caden Moore with his 6th touchdown catch of the season. That ties him with his teammate Eric Ginther for the team lead. And Colton Overby has his 13th touchdown pass of the season, his 2nd of the game. And Hendersonville is going to get it back on offense. Try to create something, because it has been a phenomenal defensive performance from Station Camp.
Let's do this, guys. Come on.
And we'll see if it's already happened. The school bus stop of the game will tell you what it is later in the fourth quarter. But so far, Bruno, it has been a bend but don't break masterclass from the Bison defense, who's about to retake the field.
Absolutely. Hendersonville has had some success on offense, but Station Camp will force them until either a 3rd and short, and then that forces them into a 4th and short, and they've collected most of their turnovers off of 4th down attempts from the Hendersonville Commandos. Hendersonville has tried to do some trickery on the edges, both of them blown up by defensive back pressure. It's just been a rough night for the Commandos. Not a lot going for them on these explosive plays.
Big opportunity upcoming, though, for Hendersonville, as Hastings kickoff will once again go into the end zone for a touchback. 2-minute drill, all 3 timeouts. The Commandos get the football to open up the second half. And for a wing T offense, this always provides an interesting challenge when you got to be in a hurry. The clock is a factor, but obviously your identity is based on staying ahead of the chains, milking the clock, and running the football.
And you got to think, if you're Hendersonville, you try and go air out 3 times in a row the way you want to, you have a chance of giving Station Camp the football back. So I think we're going to see what we normally see when wing T offenses get in this position. They're going to run out the clock.
Hand off to Rumney's got room. Tate Rumney across midfield, and there's a spark to kick off the drive. Biggest play of the night for the Hendersonville offense, and it comes at a great time. Rumney rips off a 41-yard pickup for the first down, slicing into Station Camp territory.
And Zach Allen, watch on the right side. Rumney should be out to the gate. You can see he's trying to track who's out there right now, and I think Zach Allen gets out there and makes a touchdown-saving tackle, a chance for Station Camp to stay out there on defense.
So we'll see how the Commandos take advantage of that spark. Jordan, after faking a handoff, dives up the middle, gains 2 or 3.
Hendersonville still has all 3 timeouts. They're going to opt to let the clock tick down under a minute here on this next play. Not a lot of urgency in huddling up and getting ready.
A field goal could be in play for the Commandos with junior kicker Gardner Olson. Got the kind of leg that makes his head coach comfortable with attempting a field goal from anywhere in that range of 40 to 45 yards, but they want more than that. On the pitch out to Proctor, has a block and dives across the 30. Right near the first down marker, and they'll stop the clock. See if they give them the first down.
Well, Beasley was calling for a timeout for about 10 seconds there, and they let a lot of time run off there.
They do award the first down for Hendersonville. And the timeout is taken by Hendersonville with 42 seconds left. So moments away from the United States Navy halftime report, as we highlight this week's Sonic Scholar athletes, show you participating school administrator interviews here between Hendersonville and Station Camp, plus highlights from here and across the nation, and so much more. The United States Navy, forged by the sea. And you're going to want to stick around for those highlights, because let me tell you, I feel like it's always the Scranton, Pennsylvania area that produces just the most insane stuff.
And they're in that AFC North area. They're just, all they know is Wild Boy football.
James Beasley coaching up his offense before they retake the field. What do you like here for Hendersonville? 42 seconds, 2 timeouts.
Running just your base offense, I don't think you should air it out. You need points on the board. Absolutely no turnovers can happen. And I feel like getting away from your offensive identity gives opportunity for turnovers. So just run your normal plays, same way they got down the field at this point, try and secure points.
They go to Rumney, who has been the most productive offensive player for the Commandos, and battles to the 25. Tate Rumney a yard away from a 100-yard performance already in the first half. No timeout. Clock still rolling as we're under 25 seconds to go. And the sack on second down will set it back. Shot out of a cannon. Hendersonville was trying to go quick. And that was Jameer Alexander right up the middle, and the timeout's taken with 17 seconds. A high snap for Jordan.
I mentioned that turnovers are an absolute, and Jameer Alexander basically showed up at the same time as the football on that play. A great defensive play. Hendersonville with one timeout to spare to set up this field goal after the third down.
So with one timeout remaining and 17 seconds left, it is 3rd and 11 for Hendersonville on the Station Camp 30-yard line. So from here, you're talking about a 47-yard field goal, which would be right there towing that line on the range of kicker Gardner Olson. So the Commandos will try to draw up something to pick up a few here. There's Olson, the junior kicker. 2 for 3 on his attempts so far this season. Hendersonville trying to make it a 2-score game before the half and before they get the football to start the third quarter. Christopher Jordan. Quick screen. Meadows has blockers. And he runs for the first down. That stops the clock as he gets inside the red zone. Nice gainer for the Commandos, a 12-yard pickup. And Hendersonville takes its 3rd and final timeout of the half.
With no more timeouts, with 10 seconds on the clock on first down, you're going to see a field goal probably. I mean, I can't imagine they're going to take a shot and have a risk of not getting their points on the board. They've really battled and struggled to get down to this part of the field. It'd be such a shame to come away with nothing. So an odd down and distance, an odd time on the field. Station Camp might even be able to return a kickoff if the field goal is
left side.
But if they take that shot and get sacked, they lose that opportunity at points.
Listen. Ram 9 Friday. Protect. Okay.
Shot. Interesting to see which quarterback they trot out there. Hugo Minor, who we've seen a little bit tonight for Hendersonville, has been more of the passer for them this season. Chris Bain leading Station Camp in year 3. James Beasley in year 8. So many connections between these two programs. Fighting it out in a big Region 6-5A matchup here in Week 9. The offense is on the field with Jordan at quarterback. Lobs one to the end zone. Coming back for the ball. Flag is out. It was incomplete. Broken up by Caden Moore. But it looks like a pass interference is going to get Hendersonville closer here. Weston Hall, the intended receiver.
Caden Moore, a little stunned coming up, but that looked like a clear pass interference from up here. Looked like his hands were restricting the ability for Hendersonville's Weston Hall to go up and get the football, and that could be the penalty needed to set Hendersonville up with even better field position.
Long discussion here with our officiating crew. There are 5 seconds remaining on the clock. So really only time for 1, maybe 2 plays if you went ultra quick.
Pass interference. Defense number 2. Penalties half the distance to the goal line. First down.
They'll spot the ball on the 9-yard line.
Yeah, watch Caden Moore's left hand right there. Just on the jersey and restricting that turn there by Hall. And I think Hendersonville, they are sending out the field goal unit.
This is a 26-yard attempt for Gardner Olson from the left hash.
Do not love this angle here for Hendersonville, but the short yardage should help.
Officials not quite ready. And we'll see if Station Camp utilizes their 3rd and final timeout. Chris Bain does have 1 remaining. But this to make it a 2-score game going into the half from 26 yards. Kick on the way for Olson, and he drilled it. Clock runs out as Hendersonville gets on the board at home. And the Commandos will receive the football in the 3rd quarter, down by 14. Nice response getting on the board after a slow start to the game for Henderson.
Slow start, and I mean, it really feels like it shouldn't be such a 17-3 deficit. Hendersonville's done some good things, but there's been 3 plays that have really told the story of this game, and most of them are fourth downs and turnovers on the Hendersonville side of the football.
Let's go down to the field as Sammy Kincaid stands alongside Station Camp head coach Chris Bain.
Coach, obviously not the exact way you want to finish the first half, but in a good first half. So what's the message to the team going into locker room?
That last drive, we had 2 fundamental breakdowns. Other than that, we've been good all the whole game. We want to prove that we're physical. We want to prove that tonight. We've kind of had some leaks the last few weeks. We've cleaned them up. We've got to play a clean second half. They get the ball to start the second half.
What did you see on the 2 drives, offensive drives that you had that really opened up the pass game and you were able to go down and get some points?
I think Colton settled down, honestly. He just kind of relaxed a little bit. Knew he had some guys open. He finally started seeing them, and then he got the 2 touchdown passes.
Well, good luck in the second half, Coach.
All right, appreciate it. Thank you.
Station Camp leads 17-3 as we head into the break here in Week 9 at Hendersonville. The United States Navy halftime report next on My TV 30.
You're watching the United States Navy Halftime Report. The United States Navy, forged by the sea.
We are proud to present the Sonic Scholar Athlete of the Week. This week's Scholar Athletes are Will Stevens and Simon Blemker. Will has a 4.0 GPA, was named Defensive Player of the Year for 2020, and is a member of the National Honor Society. Simon has a 4.0 GPA, a 4-year member of the varsity football and basketball teams, and a member of the National Honor Society. These All-Stars are now entered to win a $10,000 scholarship at the end of the season. Congratulations to our Sonic Athletes of the Week.
This week's Friday Night Rivals Educator Spotlight is presented by Western Kentucky University. Climb higher at Western Kentucky University.
Welcome back to Hendersonville High School, where they're currently hosting Station Camp. Station Camp has the 17-3 lead, and I'm joined by Station Camp's principal, Mr. Josh Ray. And you brought 2 students with you. We have Sarah Lemon, senior at Station Camp, as well as Emma Ketchum, a junior at Station Camp. And why did you bring these 2 girls down with you today?
I brought them down here because for the last 12 years I've been at Station Camp High School, and this is the first year I can remember that our student support, our pep rallies, and everything that goes in with all of our students has been just off the charts, and it's because of these two ladies' leadership.
Absolutely, and you're the president of Student Council, correct? And you're the VP. So what have you guys been doing that has really changed what's going on with the student section?
Well, a lot of it is last year we saw that our school was kind of in a rut, and there just wasn't a lot of participation, and so we really knew that this whole system needed a shock, and we knew it was a great time with Mr. Ray coming in as our new vice principal, or as our new principal. And so we really worked with the other students and kind of got a lot of feedback about what they wanted. And then we also knew that in order to host strong events, we needed to have a strong bond with the people that were hosting them. So we've also been doing a lot of work with the other executive board members that are in charge of hosting it to kind of put these things on together.
And how proud are you of them that they're able to really coordinate all of this and be able to come down here and speak the way that they do and just really organize all of that?
Oh man, it's amazing. They came to me the very first day with a whole year outlined and just told me some things that they wanted to do, and I was all about it. And it's really paid off. If you come to our school and you look at the pep rallies especially, I've never seen this many students hang around and be a part of it.
Absolutely. Well, it looks like it's been a lot of fun over there. Y'all having a lot of fun with this game right now, and good luck in the second half. Thank you so much for joining me down here today, and thank you so much to Western Kentucky for this Educator Spotlight. Whenever we come back from break, we're going to have highlights, stats, a lot more, so stick with us. We'll be right back.
This week's Friday Night Rivals Educator Spotlight is presented by Western Kentucky University. Climb higher at Western Kentucky University. You're watching the United States Navy Halftime Report. The United States Navy, forged by the sea. This week's Friday Night Rivals Educator Spotlight is presented by Western Kentucky University. Climb higher at Western Kentucky University.
Welcome back to Hendersonville High School. I'm currently joined by Hendersonville's executive principal, Dr. Mel Sawyer, and thank you so much for hosting us tonight.
No problem.
And tell me, how long have you been the executive principal at Hendersonville High School?
This is my third year as executive principal here. I spent 5 years at AP before, but this is my third year as executive.
Awesome. That's fantastic. And there's been a lot of success here over the years at Hendersonville. What are some of those successes you've seen?
Some of the things we're most proud of is the various opportunities we offer students here. Like our AP program has been done a great job these last several years. We boast our 87% passer rate with the advanced placement exam, which gives our kids an opportunity to earn college credit while in the high school setting. So really proud of that, as well as our fine arts program, our band, our sports, our math team. So we do a lot of great things for our kids here.
Absolutely. And I went to a different school just down the road from here. And if there's one thing I know, Commando pride, it's strong. There's a lot of community around here. Talk about that Commando pride.
Well, Commando pride is easy to get, just mistake it just for sports, but it's more than just sports. We take pride in the way we treat our staff, the way we treat our students, our kids excelling in the classroom, the kids being involved in the community, not just as athletes, but just as community people. Pouring back into the community, going to the park, helping out, going to the middle schools and elementary schools, giving back in field days and things like that. So Commando pride is like a rallying cry for all our kids and all our students and all our staff here at Hendersonville High School.
Absolutely. We saw some of that earlier today. There was a trunk or treat. It was really cute seeing the kids. How did that come about? Who all was involved in that?
It was phenomenal. All our clubs are represented in the trunk or treat. From our JROTC to our baseball team, to our math club, to our Golden Obsessions, to our AP classes, to our fine arts club, to our FFA, our ag department. So it's a rally cry. Everybody comes together. We do a lot here for the community, for the students. So that's what the basis of Commando pride.
Absolutely. Well, again, thank you so much for hosting us tonight. And thank you again to Western Kentucky for this Educator Spotlight. Whenever we come back, we'll have highlights, stats, a lot more. Stick with us. We'll be right back.
This week's Friday Night Rivals Educator Spotlight is presented by Western Kentucky University. Climb higher at Western Kentucky University. You're watching the United States Navy Halftime Report. The United States Navy, forged by the sea.
Halftime at Hendersonville High School in this Region 6 5A showdown here in Week 9. Happy to have you with us in Sumner County on the Tennessee Army National Guard Friday Night Rivals, presented by UA Local 572. There we are in this brand new gorgeous press box at Hendersonville High School Memorial Stadium. It is a great facility out here, a great high school football community, but you guys don't want to see our ugly mugs. Let's look at the first half highlights as Station Camp leads 17-3 over the Commandos after a scoreless first quarter. Things really didn't heat up in this game for a while, Bruno. It was the Station Camp defense. We talked about flying to the football as a key to the game. Bison have done that in the first half.
Absolutely. Tanner Beagley getting in early with some TFLs, and watch right here, you're able to reach backward and force the first turnover, the only true turnover that wasn't on downs for Station Camp. That eventually sets them up with the first points on the board a little bit later into the game with this field goal.
29-yarder from Gavin Hastings, and then a 4th and 10 touchdown over the middle. Luca Gilbert on the reception.
Yep, that was Gilbert getting his first touch into the end zone. And then Alex Overby following it up, making it a 17-0 game there, going to Caden Moore.
That made it a 3-score lead, like you said. Hendersonville able to string together a drive at the end of the first half to tack on a field goal as time expired. You look at the total yardage from the first half stats. Station Camp outgaining the Commandos 164 to 158. 71 of that 158 for Hendersonville coming on that last series. But both teams coming in doing what they do. Station Camp airing it out. Hendersonville running the football.
In the game, I mean, if you take a look at the stats, it looks, other than flipping the passing and the rushing, the game is exactly the same statistically. What has been the difference if you're just now tuning in? Hendersonville has turned the ball over on downs, on 4th down, achievable 4th downs, once on a 4th and 1, once on a 4th and 5, and that has made all the difference. Station Camp finding the end zone twice tonight so far.
So 17-3 the lead. Hendersonville will get the football coming out to start the third quarter here at home on senior night. But before that, every week during halftime of our Friday Night Rivals broadcast, we showcase outstanding Thursday Night Lights and Friday Night Rivals game highlights from across the country. So let's check out some of the best from last week's action.
The best Thursday Night Lights and Friday Night Rivals highlights from across the country.
Churchill hands to Ron. Nice cut move. And a hurdle. He's still on his feet. Are you kidding me? Caleb Ron, touchdown. Oh, my goodness. What did he just do?
Empty set now for Drahal. He's going to air it out. Taking a shot deep. Making the catch in stride is Tabato. Touchdown, McCauley.
Fortier just unleashes one to Tabato. Look at that. Just a cannon down the field. Tabato gets behind the defender. Fortier with the throw. And
here's Rios. He can change it in a hurry. Breaks it outside.
There he
Breaks
goes.
Another tackle. He's at the 30. He's at the 20. Got one man to beat. Sidesteps him and goes to the end zone. Dives for the touchdown.
Second down and 10. Here's George. Running through tacklers. First down and more. Look out. George, one man to beat. Touchdown Baylor. 60 yards.
Moore is going to go around the right side. Have to play. The ball's in the air. The ball popped up, scooped up. It's picked up by White Nose. Down the sideline we go. This is number 0. This is Coakley. Coakley, green grass and opportunity. That's 6 on the board. That is
Welcome back to Hendersonville High School hosting Station Camp, and I'm currently joined by Hendersonville's head coach, Coach Beasley. And obviously not the first half that you wanted, but you were able to get some points there at the end. What was the message to your team in the locker room?
Just love each other and play together as a team. That's the thing. We missed up communications in the first half, let them get a couple of fourth downs and a couple of plays that, kind of fluky plays there. So we just got to play better. We got to communicate better, and we got to execute.
And you're running the ball right now. So what do you have to do to really execute and make sure you're capitalizing on that and really open up that pass game?
Well, we got to get the plays in that we're calling. We got to get the right plays in so that we execute the right things that we think are going to work and things that have been successful for us in the first half.
Well, good luck doing that in the second half, Coach.
Thank you, Sammy. Head coach James Beasley of his Hendersonville Commandos in our Josh Houston and Associates Coaches Corner. Josh Houston and Associates, a one-source scholastic product experience. Hendersonville trailing at home 17-3. Big chance for both of these teams to work their way into the top two of the region's 6-5A standings. As we get ready for the third quarter, Hendersonville will get the football to start things off. What did you like about the way the Commandos marched down the field to tack on that field goal at the end of the first half that they could carry over here to the third quarter?
What I really liked was how they were relying on their hot hand, specifically Rumney, right? He was the real bell cow from the back position. Now they have an opportunity, just trusting that run game, to really start popping off some explosive runs. They had a few 10-plussers in the first half, and we saw right there, right at the edge of the second half, when they went down to get those 3 points on the board, they had some explosive rushes there too. That's the softening process I always talk about when you're running the football. Those 20, 30 reps, those first 30 reps, they hit totally different on the defense than the back 30.
Let's go back down to Sammy Kincaid for another injury update before the second half.
Hey guys, good news for the Bart Durham injury update is that it's not changed since the beginning of the game. So still out in the second half for Station Camp is going to be right guard Alex Inez. He is out with that hand injury, as well as running back outside linebacker Matthew Dickens. He's out with a knee injury. Flipping over to Hendersonville, out is linebacker Braylon Valaquez. He is out with a foot injury. That's your Bart Durham injury update. Back up to you guys.
Thanks, Sammy. Yeah, big misses for both of those teams. You mentioned Dickens, the Station Camp running back, and Velasquez, the lead tackler for this Hendersonville defense, who they are without. Hopefully we'll get him back before the end of the season, according to head coach James Beasley. The Commandos just looking to get back in it, try and make it a one-score game. And there's a man who's had a special night already, Colton Overby. No matter what happens tonight, he will go home as the all-time leading passer in Station Camp history. Only needed 4 yards to break the record, and he did it with his first completion of the game, a record that coming into tonight stood at 4,110, a record held by one Kyle Anderton, a former teammate of Bruno Reagan's at Vanderbilt. But he didn't play quarterback.
He didn't play quarterback, got moved to tight end. Listen, I know the good spots to eat around Vanderbilt, and every time I went to one of those spots, Kyle Anderton was also at those spots. So he went from tight end eventually to O-line, transferred to Austin P, had an all-ABC career. So he had that Lane Johnson art, quarterback to offensive lineman, but I'm sure he's pretty cool with his records being broken. Now Overby, he's going to be competing against future generations of Station Camp quarterbacks trying to hold those records.
Oh, and by the way, he's got a whole other senior season to continue to pile on to the records that he currently holds. James Beasley tasked with finding a way to stop number 6, Colton Overby, who in that first half got off to a slow start. Overby, the Station Camp quarterback, but really settled into the game and had 2 passing touchdowns to take it into halftime. 8 of 17 for 122 yards, 2 touchdowns for Overby in that first half. Chris Bain, Station Camp head coach in his 3rd year. Spent about 15 years as an assistant here at Hendersonville. 2 kids that came through Hendersonville High School. So he's certainly familiar with his surroundings tonight at Memorial Stadium, where they've been playing football since 1941. What do you think about the alternate gray uniforms, the military alternates there for the Commandos?
They're good. I'm seeing some head shakes from other sides of the field. I think they're good. Well, the problem is I wore some gray. We had small grays alternative at my time at Vandy, and they were awful. So these are better, and I see how much better they are, and I'm like, oh, okay, I can live with those.
Well, obviously the black and gold is the trademark look for the Commandos. Okay, Vanderbilt grad, how about a fun fact? Did you know Hendersonville wears black and gold because back in the early 40s, the first actual uniforms they had were provided to them by Vanderbilt's football team. Old uniforms that they had already used that they donated to Hendersonville's program, so they've worn black and gold since.
And they just adopted the colors. They were like, all right, guys, it's just like 6 people in the administration office back in the day, and they're like, all right, I guess this is our colors now. See, that's good history. I like that history.
So Hendersonville going to get the football to start things off. Station Camp will come out. Defensively, the Bison have played with their hair on fire in this first half.
Yeah, and it's going to be interesting to see if they keep that same level of pace. I mean, defensive football is so explosive, so reactionary. It is just so hard on the human body to play at the level of explosiveness you need to for all 4 quarters, and that's what they're going to be tasked to do. Hendersonville is not out of this football game yet. The styles clashing. This, I think, in the second half does favor Hendersonville a bit, but Station Camp has built a comfortable lead up until this point. Not too comfortable to lay down yet, though.
Both squads seeking another step towards home field advantage in the playoffs. Got to finish in the top 2 of the Region 6 5A standings to do it. This is the 18th all-time meeting between the two. Hendersonville leads the series with a dominant 15-2 advantage, but they're in a 14-point hole at home. If they want to continue that run, Hendersonville has won the last 6 meetings in this matchup. And we are underway in the third quarter as Hastings boots the second half kickoff short of the goal line for the first time tonight. It's fielded by Proctor. Right up the middle, runs over a man as he crosses the 20. And the Hendersonville Commandos will come out for the opening drive of the second half, down 17-3 on their own 24-yard line.
Looked like it was a tough collision there with TK Cartwright on the, yeah, you can see the mouthpiece fly out. A very physical football game. Ford Proctor on the return there. Hendersonville coming out, have an opportunity to cut it to a 1-score game with this opening series here in the second half.
Christopher Jordan is our player to watch for the Commandos, running things in this wing T offense. But that guy right there has been the hot hand. Tate Rumney, who falls forward, picks up a yard, and it puts him at 100 rush yards on the night. His 41-yard run sparked the Hendersonville scoring drive that closed out the first half with a field goal.
Not the rush they wanted here on first down to come out of halftime, but they've shown they're not afraid to continue pounding the football. They're going to trust their process.
Going right back to Rumney here, probing behind his blockers, and he's caught from behind after crossing the 30. So that puts Hendersonville on schedule and sets up a 3rd and 2 for the Commandos.
Hendersonville having a good job lining up and running between the tackles and then bouncing it outside. I think that drastic movement, maybe a little bit more patience out of their run game, has been more favorable than exploding into pre-designated gaps.
Jordan pitches. Rumney, he's going to have the first down once more as he's bumped out across the 40. A BMC Metalworks first down for the sophomore back. BMC Metalworks, an industry leader in CNC machining and steel fabrication services, celebrating over 50 years of excellence.
And those pitches are so scary to me, especially when the contact's made, you make the pitch on the move. It can just so easily turn into a fumble if the ball goes backwards. But good job by Christopher Jordan on securing it and getting the first down.
Back into the belly of Tate Rumney. So patient behind his blockers as he's got another first down scamper slicing into Station Camp territory. That one a gain of 14. And Rumney is starting to pick up some steam here in the third quarter.
Rumney's doing a good job. He has his shoulders facing the sideline, baiting in that kick-out guy, and then he immediately turns up the field when his offensive lineman makes contact. He's doing a good job of extending the walls.
Once again, Rumney with a path down the right side, a move into the red zone, and he's tackled down. Colin Gillespie caught up to him to make the stop. That's a 30-yard gain for the sophomore.
Hendersonville is lining up quick, and they're running the same play over and over again. 2-back power now this time, with Jordan taking the handoff and only getting one.
Makes the right read there, but just able to fall forward. Trayson Pettis brings down the quarterback. So Tate Rumney with runs of 13, 14, and 30 yards on this drive.
See a lot of hands-on hits for the Station Cam defense. If you were tuned into our halftime report, I was mentioning how run first offenses, they start to hit a little bit different after that second half. You let the body cool down in halftime, and now the adrenaline's starting to wear off a bit.
Back to Rumney, starts left, cuts up the middle as he is stymied at the 7-yard line. Both teams coming out of their bye week. Hendersonville, their last time out, a 28-0 win against Summit at home. Their only region win so far this season has come against Hunters Lane, who's last place in the region standings. Win tonight would get Hendersonville over 500 in their overall record and in the region strength. Trying to start the third quarter off on a good note. Screen to Meadows. Has the first down. He's got the touchdown. And Hendersonville is right back in it at home. The double dip from the Commandos. A field goal to end the half. A touchdown to start the third quarter. Aiden Meadows with his second receiving touchdown of the season. And they're an extra point away from a 7-point deficit. A South College score for Hendersonville. Extra point is good. And Station Camp now leads 17-10 after the opening series of the third quarter. Hendersonville making it a one-score game at home on MyTV 30. Love coming out here to Hendersonville High School. A huge thanks to Dr. Mel Sawyer and the great folks out here for having us. There you see Dr. Sawyer with our own Sammy Kincaid on the Tennessee Army National Guard Friday Night Rivals, presented by UA Local 572. Week 9, big Region 6 5A clash between the 3-3 Hendersonville Commandos and the 3-4 Station Camp Bison. And Dr. Sawyer has got to like what he saw out of his team coming out of the locker room. Bruno marching down the field. Tate Rumney carrying the load, 69 rush yards on that drive, but a screen pass to Aiden Meadows is run in from 7 yards out, and it's an 8-play, 67-yard series for Hendersonville to cut the Station Camp lead to 1.
And I'm sure
it's a 7, excuse me.
Yeah, you're good. And I'm sure you're thinking to yourself, oh, they must have made some crazy halftime adjustments. Not really. I mean, they're just trusting their process and the flow of football. It is such a physical game, and Hendersonville has been playing physical. They've been one play short here and there. We heard Coach Beasley say that there were some fluke plays, I think, that went against them. But that's the style of football they want. They ran that same one-back power like 3 times in a row, and it gashed every single time.
Hastings kickoff is fielded at the 25 by the backtracking man who is forced back inside his own 20. This is Fitz reversing all the way to the far side of the field and finally tackled at the 28-yard line. So Station Camp will come back out. Feels like forever since the Bison have had the football. After scoring a 15-yard touchdown from Colton Overby to Caden Moore with just under 2 minutes left in the second quarter. Now they get it for the first time in the second half with 8:32 on the clock in the third.
You mentioned it's been forever. As we take a look at Colton Overby's numbers, currently 8 of 17. He started the game 2 of 7 when he broke his passing record. Now we have 122 pass yards, 2 total touchdowns, making his case for our player of the game.
He loops it out to the left side of the field. Ball is out. Hendersonville is on it. The Commandos force a turnover. Hendersonville football, Karen Wilson all over it on the screen out to Luca Gilbert. All the momentum on the side of Hendersonville, surging back from down 17.
Excellent.
And the hit was made by Luke Carr to force the fumble.
Fumble was on Gilbert, who had that first touchdown pass for Station Camp earlier in the game. A great game up until that point. We've had a Station Camp player down on the field the entire time. He does get up. That was Caden Moore, another great player on the edge there. It looks like he's in the
So now Hendersonville trying to take advantage. Second turnover of the game by Station Camp. Up the middle, Rumney has room. Rumney has the touchdown. Hendersonville comes all the way back, an extra point away from a tie game. And Memorial Stadium is loving it. A South College touchdown, Tate Rumney. Hastings to tie the game. And the extra point is good. He sneaks it in, and after trailing 17-0, the Commandos storm back with a run of their own, and we're all squared up with 8:16 to go in the third. We've got a fun one here at Hendersonville High School. But remember, Fridays at 9:30 or after college football, not to miss Fox 17 Football Frenzy Live, sponsored by Wilson Bank and Trust. Catch the biggest plays, the most unbelievable hits, as Fox 17 Sports Director Dill Jovic brings you highlights, scores, and more for high school football games across the mid-state. Fridays at 9:30 or after college football, Fox 17 Football Frenzy Live, sponsored by Wilson Bank and Trust. We would like to take a moment to thank for tonight's financial assistance. The buzz is real here at Hendersonville. They were in a 17-0 hole with less than 2 minutes to play in the second quarter, and they have stormed back, scoring in the opening series of the half, quickly forcing a fumble and turning it into a 22-yard touchdown run by Tate Rumney as he scores his third touchdown of the season. And we are even 17 apiece.
You mentioned earlier in the first half how Hendersonville does such a good job of spreading out their production well. Tonight's Tate Rumney's night. He has been the absolute bell cow and explosive player Hendersonville has needed to get back into this game.
190 yards on the night for Rumney. And Station Camp now reeling a little bit on the road after being in control in the second quarter. Lucas Panzica, Bruno Reagan with you in the booth. Sammy Kincaid on the sideline. Fun finish brewing here in Week 9, Region 6-5A. As Station Camp will come back out on offense. How do the Bison just calm things down here and get back to their game?
That's the struggle of having a spread offense, is regaining that momentum. Because with run plays, you can really enforce your will with 11 people off sheer effort alone. The spread, you need a few things to go your way. And so many things can go wrong in an instant, too. I love the spread when you run out of it because it can have lighter boxes, but they're going to trust their new record-breaking quarterback to get them out of this hole in Colton Overby.
Overby hands off to Gillespie. They go up the middle. He picks up 4. Station Camp team who, after a really nice start to the season, a 3-0 record right out of the gate, dropped 4 losses in a row, and we talked about it in the first half against 4 of the best teams in the mid-state. But still, as a run up the middle from Overby, barrels across the 35, and that's good for a BMC Metalworks first down. But we mentioned it, head coach Chris Bain felt like his kids' confidence never wavered. He loved their resolve during that 4-game losing skid, and they're going to need some of that mental toughness here after giving up a 17-0 lead.
You could just see on that last play the offensive linemen that were running down with Overby on that run play. I mean, there's the same thing I mentioned for Hendersonville, how the softening process affects them. That still affects Hendersonville on the adverse side of the football, even if Station Camp is running out of this spread offense.
Prior to the snap, encroachment, number 11 defense. That's a 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
Tom Ritter, our white hat tonight, gives Station Camp a 1st and 5. The Bison have not had a win over Hendersonville since 2013. Up the middle, Pile being pushed. 6-yard gain and a first down. As Station Camp committing a little more to the run game here on this series with Colin Gillespie.
I think that's a smart decision. You know, I kind of alluded to it. I would love to see a run game out of the spread, and I didn't know how much Station Camp had in them, and they're really relying on it. That's a good way to get back some momentum. It just keeps your guys on the field.
Colton Overby, the junior lefty. Keep feeding Gillespie. Just falls across the 45. The scoreless first quarter before Station Camp's offense came alive with a field goal and then back-to-back touchdown drives to build that 17-0 advantage. We'll run Overby again as he stumbles out of bounds. A tough player, Overby's the lead rusher for this team. All season came in today with 463 rush yards, and he's tacked on another 48 so far tonight.
We're at that point in the season, too. This game started out so physical. There's a lot of wear and tear. Everyone's dealing with something injury-wise. I know our Bardwell injury report was clear.
Going deep for Ginther. Flags are down, and looks like that'll be a pass interference against the Commandos.
Well, I was going to finish out with the cardio is going to be such a huge factor going into the end of the season and the end of this game.
Well, Ginther going deep, just got held up coming back for the football.
The dreaded underneath throw for a defensive back. It catches so many people off guard. When that receiver turns around and just runs into your face and you get called for the penalty. Everyone moving a little bit half step slower today, myself included. We'll take a look at that big shot, and no chance to come back and play on the ball. All Hendersonville had to do was turn around. That was number 11 right there, A.J. Spence. If he's able to get his head turned around and play the football, even with that contact, that would be a no-no.
Well, they do apply the penalty, and Overby takes off. A battering ram. The junior quarterback gets to the line to gain, and it might be just enough for the first down. And they're really leaning into his dual threat ability on this drive to try and settle things down after the Hendersonville comeback.
Still showing, even with the relying on the rush. They'll take some deep shots.
After the 10-yard pickup, it's back to Gillespie with a stiff arm. Slips free of a tackle. Ball is loose. Gillespie fell on it anyway. Might have been down before it came out. That will be the ruling. But either way, that's another first down carry, and Station Camp's right back in the red zone at the 16.
What a disaster a bit is Station Camp there. Good job by Gillespie, able to even secure the ball back, but that's both teams. You have to be able to stay by the football. I don't know if any other offensive lineman had to deal with what I had to deal with. If you weren't within 5 yards of the football in any frame, you had a 100-yard sprint at the end of whatever practice or game. And that's why those fumbles.
Overby keeps it himself. The ball's loose again. There's a dog pile for it at the 10. And Station Camp might have come up with it. Flags are coming out now.
That flag will be a personal foul on Hendersonville, but I don't know if they've claimed who recovered the football yet. It looked like Hendersonville landed on it, but Overby wrestled it back in the pile. What a great play on the ball there. That was number 32 for Hendersonville, Luke Carr. And I think Hendersonville lands on it, but then the wrestle off happens, and Overby so strong, he comes back up with it.
Here's the call.
Unnecessary roughness defense. Hampton to goal, first down.
That close to another forced turnover, but instead Station Camp keeps it and will tack on the penalty yardage.
Take a look at this angle right here. You can see Overby wrestling back for it. He does come up with it. And whoever comes up with it, especially in this level, high school, where there are no cameras, you can see the physicality at the end after the whistle, drawing the personal foul. Ball on the 5.
Station Camp going a wildcat straight up the middle, pushing the pile into the end zone. Touchdown, Bison. Jameer Alexander, bully ball. And what a response from Station Camp. Taking some punches and then delivering a right hook of their own. A South College touchdown. Jameer Alexander hammers it in, and the Bison are back in front.
Jameer Alexander now having to play one of the worst positions in football, the wing on the field goal, to take it to the face crew.
Sounds like you're speaking from experience.
I was a key member of this crew. I was the guy when we played against my first ever experience was the field goal unit, where they lined 3 big guys over top of you, and I was like, oh my gosh.
Well, the extra point's good, and Station Camp restores a 7-point lead. Jameer Alexander getting a touch. And what an excellent response. Chris Bain has to love the fight back there from his offense, going to the ground game and just hammering it down the field.
This game, it started off so physical and explosive. Now, if you were able to see that touchdown run by Jameer Alexander, it just was so gritty. It's so fatigued. It's so gritty. Whoever comes up with it at the end is going to be the tougher team.
Well, we're going to have a lot to choose from. Our Tennessee Army National Guard play of the game. We'll reveal it in the fourth quarter. We've had multiple forced turnovers. We've had a 4th and 10 touchdown. Long runs, deep passes. Stakes are high tonight in Sumner County. Week 9 of the regular season. This is where everyone wants to be playing their best football. And for Hendersonville, the last chance for these seniors to do it at home in the regular season. Hastings kickoff. Short of the goal line again. Proctor fields it, fakes the handoff, and he's got a lane down the middle, makes a move. Proctor is inside the 40 as he crosses the 35.
Going to be real good field position for Hendersonville to start off. You have to imagine we'll see a lot of the same. They've relied on that one pull power coming out of the backfield, and they've also had a heavy dose of Tate Rumney, almost at 200 yards on the night.
Yeah, Rumney absolutely has been the difference for Hendersonville in their comeback, but once again, operating at a deficit, down by 7 after a 9-play, 80-yard drive from Station Camp. Straight up the middle, Rumney tunnels to the 43. And they have realized what works in this game, and that is number 3, Tate Rumney. 195 yards on 22 carries. He had 61 coming into the night, so he's had about a third of that. Just tonight alone, we're not even into the fourth quarter as he gets it again for a first down carry across midfield.
Well, at this point in the season, I mentioned as they secure that BMC Metalworks first down that they're starting to, I mean, the weight of the season and the physical toll it takes on your body is going to start accounting. So you have someone who has taken the on-the-field coaching there from James Beasley.
It's only the 9th pass attempt of the night from this Hendersonville wing T offense. Out of the gun, Jordan pulls the handoff to Rumney, and Station Camp not fooled. Alexander, just a few plays after punching in a touchdown, throws down the junior quarterback for a TFL.
What a response by Station Camp after the Hendersonville big long drive for a touchdown. They go down the field and rush the ball on their own, and then they have their players that were on the field scoring that drive coming back on defense and forcing a 3rd and long where Hendersonville does not do too well. Another great play by Jameer Alexander, the junior linebacker. A lot of big-time players, only juniors for the Station Camp team.
They really are. You just look across that lineup, especially offensively. A wealth of experience coming back next year for Station Camp, but for right now, these Hendersonville seniors are looking to deliver another blow as Jordan goes over the middle, and it's incomplete. Looking for Meadows. There is a flag in the defensive backfield.
Looks like they're going to call that on PI. On the attempted pass, it looked like it was a good attempt. Nate Meadows draws the pass interference. We'll take a look with our replay. Man, that is... I don't think that's PI unless who called it was the back judge right there. So maybe someone's left hand around the hip could have been the drawing factor, but it looked like from the front it was a good play on the ball.
Tom Ritter.
Leaves the ball 1 yard short of the line to gain. We're going to replay 3rd down.
Not an automatic first down at the high school football level, but it does turn it from 3rd and 16 to 3rd and 1 for Hendersonville. On the Station Camp 37-yard line. More flags are on the field.
Looks like the explosive motion drew an offsides from the Station Camp defense.
Five-yard penalty results in a first down.
So that will move the chains for Hendersonville.
It was a good job by Hendersonville. You see they're set right there, and then they run into that explosive motion that draws the defense into the neutral zone. That's why you do it. A pretty good call, and it works when you're at this fatigued level of football and guys aren't thinking too much and watching the keys and watching the football and getting off. They're listening to the explosion and the movement.
13th accepted penalty for both teams combined tonight. Rumney right back up the middle. Man, he just gets out of the backfield so quickly. That time picks up 4 or 5. Gain of 4. 2nd and 6 for Rumney, who is at 210 yards on the night on 24 carries.
Not a real imposing figure either. He's 5'9", 150 pounds, only still underclassman out of 10th grade, and we just saw 4 Station Camp Bison struggle to get him down onto the field.
He's been the lead rusher for them all season, but nothing like what we're seeing tonight, a career night for the sophomore. Second and 6. Rumney accelerates up that right seam. Brings up 3rd and short as he picks up another 4. And he may be running his way to the UA Local 572 player of the game. Stay tuned through the 4th quarter. Looks like it's going to be a fun one. Station Camp, after a scoreless first quarter, built a 17-0 lead before Hendersonville ripped off a 17-0 run of their own, but the Bison had an answer. And now the Commandos trying to throw another punch themselves as a rumbling run across the 23-yard line may be enough. No, it's going to be short, and a 4th and short upcoming for Hendersonville.
We find ourselves in a familiar position. One Hendersonville has found themselves on the wrong side of a few times this game. A 4th and 1, a 4th and 5, both turning the ball over to Station Camp. They will once again attempt to go for it on 4th down. 3rd time's the charm.
Need 1 yard. The QB sneak by Jordan gets him near the 20, but enough to move the sticks. The BMC Metalworks first down, the first 4th down conversion of the night for the Commandos.
Took about 20 seconds to clear that pile of mass. I wonder how much weight was in that one condensed party. I started to feel a gravitational pull from up here in the press box after that QB sneak. Under a minute left in the 3rd quarter.
First and 10 on what has been a promising drive for Hendersonville. Jordan over the middle, intercepted near the goal line. Moore picks it off. And Station Camp snatches it away. The Bison will take over inside their own 10. Moore, the junior corner, comes up in a huge moment as Hendersonville was threatening.
Caden Moore, what a great play. You can see right there in the middle of your screen, he's coming into frame. He just takes it another level. And we've seen so many people drop a pick that looks so easy on television, but it's obviously not, because I've seen so many people at the high school level and at such good D2, 6A, drop that pass. But that was such a great job by Caden Moore to take it away when Hendersonville was so close after converting a tight 4th down and being right in scoring position.
He's going to stay on the field, one of the top receivers for this Station Camp high-flying passing attack. As a handoff up the middle, that time to Gavin Pennington, a twitchier back, senior out of the backfield. Picks up 5, and it could be the final play of the 3rd quarter. So Station Camp, with the interception near the goal line, will try to turn it into another 2-possession lead as we get ready for 4th quarter action. Week 9 in Region 6-5A. We've got a fun one in Sumner County. Station Camp leads Hendersonville 24-17 on MyTV 30. Ready for fourth quarter action at Memorial Stadium. Station Camp leads Hendersonville 24-17. Don't forget, Fridays at 9:30 or after college football coverage, Fox 17 Football Frenzy Live, sponsored by Wilson Bank and Trust. We'll bring you the biggest plays, the best hits, as Fox 17 Sports Director Jill Jelnick brings highlights, scores, and more for action across the Mid-State. Fridays at 9:30 or after college football, Fox 17 Football Frenzy Live, sponsored by Wilson Bank and Trust. Station Camp after the goal line interception by Caden Moore. Back on offense with a 7-point road lead. Trying to spoil senior night at Hendersonville High School as Overby is tripped up. Like he had some green grass, but got caught. The junior quarterback, a record setter tonight for the Station Camp offense. Lucas Panzica, Bruno Reagan in the booth, Sammy Kincaid down on the field. It's been a game of runs, Bruno. Station Camp up 17-0. Hendersonville stormed back to tie it, and now the Bison trying to put together another scoring drive.
Yeah, a real slugfest out here right now. Momentum being taken away and given at any moment's notice.
Station Camp with more commitment to the ground game here in the second half. Up the middle to Ginther, bringing the receiver in motion, but Hendersonville read it all the way. Luke Carr, who has just been phenomenal for this defense this year as a senior leader. His head coach says he embodies commando football, and for a program that's been playing since the early 40s, that is high praise for Luke Carr, as a flag is down here on 4th and short.
Yeah, Station Camp going for it here on 4th down on their own.
Number 70, offense. That's a 5-yard penalty.
That was a bit of a risque move.
And that penalty will change the mind of Chris Bain. So nice response by Hendersonville's defense on the sudden change. After the offense turns it over in what looked like a promising drive. Commandos should get it back here. As Hastings will punt it away. Meadows back deep, standing on on the Station Camp 40-yard line. And that will bounce and be downed near the 40. So it's good field position for Hendersonville with a chance to go down the field and tie it up in the fourth quarter. Bison with a 7-point lead on the road in Week 9.
Tonight's broadcast of Friday Night Rivals can also be seen streaming live on mytv30web.com, Fox 17 Facebook Live, and YouTube. Brought to you by South College, where dreams find direction.
Great spot for high school football in Middle Tennessee. Historic Hendersonville High School, and the Commandos have it back, down 7. Just over 11 minutes to play in the final quarter. On the Tennessee Army National Guard Friday Night Rivals, presented by UA Local 572, Bruno, starting on the plus 40. Nice opportunity for Hendersonville after the stop.
You can feel the sense of urgency, on the Hendersonville sideline. Henderville, excuse me.
And off to Rumney has a big gap on the left side. He takes it across the 35 and down at the 30.
Who else? There's really only two options for a player of the game, depending on which team wins. I'll let you at home think about it, but whoever just carried the football for Hendersonville has a dang good shot at it.
And that is Rumney, who has had a phenomenal night. He's going to get another crack here. Breaks loose at the 20 and caught from behind. Down at the 8, Tate Rumney on a 22-yard carry is nearing 250 rush yards tonight.
It looked like Rumney was going to have a clear shot right into the end zone and tie it up for Hendersonville. But again, another good play by Caden Moore from Station Camp. Almost gets the football out.
Came up with the interception on the last drive. Jordan pulls it here, tries to cut up the middle of the field, and is spun down inside the 5. Brings up 2nd and goal for Hendersonville.
That tackle by Caden Moore giving this Station Camp defense another shot. But you can see the fatigue on the Station Camp defense. A lot of hands on hips, a lot of players squatting down, maybe getting closer to the earth might make the oxygen from the grass rise up. I'm not sure. I didn't take many science classes.
2nd and goal on the 4. Rumney up the middle, battling towards the goal line. Ruled down at the 1. He thinks he scored, but Hendersonville is going to have to stay on the field for 3rd and goal.
Everyone thinks Rumney scored. I'll get to the bottom of this for you, young man, okay? Put my investigator cap on.
Well, Jordan has left the game to be replaced by Hugo Minor, part of this rotating system that Hendersonville has used all year. They'll still hand it off, straight up the middle, diving across, and it's a touchdown. Hendersonville strikes back. Luke Carr, his first touchdown of the season, and the South College score brings Hendersonville an extra point away from another tie ball game.
Luke Carr, it looks like he was in the fullback position, getting the quick handoff. We'll take a look at number 32. Yup, right, lined up right behind the quarterback. All he has to do is fall forward, essentially.
A little bit of trouble on the snap, but the extra point is good.
There was a hand on the football there. Almost a chance for Station Camp to keep the lead by 1 point. But again, good touchdown by Luke Carr and the Hendersonville offense to get this all tied up again with 9 minutes left to go in the 4th.
Yeah, Olsen knocks in the PAT to tie it. So this has turned into a thriller in Sumner County. After a scoreless and sleepy first quarter, it was all Station Camp early, built a 17-0 lead. Hendersonville storming back to tie it. And since then, haymakers being thrown between these two in Region 6-5A.
Both teams really relying on their run games this late, not wanting to give their opponents any opportunity with the ball and plenty of clock. So even though there's 9 minutes left, we could see only 2 more series this entire game, one from each team. That was Hendersonville just capping off a 5-play, 40-yard drive. Finished off by that fullback dive by Luke Carr.
Each team has turned it over twice tonight. Station Camp will get it back with Gillespie back deep. Chris Bain looking for a response for his team, trying to end a 4-game losing skid. Hendersonville at home on senior night, looking to get back above 500. Olsen's kickoff fielded at the 4. Gillespie gets past the 20 and is wrestled down to the 26 by Ben Summers. So here comes Colton Overby. Broke the record for career passing yards with his first completion of the night. And he's drawing closer to the school record for single season passing yards, but that's not on the mind now. It's about driving down the field and giving his team another lead on the road here in the 4th quarter. Overby so far tonight, 9 of 18 with a pair of passing touchdowns, 123 yards and 1 interception. I'm not sure what the holdup is here.
He's saying the
Discussions happening on the sideline with Hendersonville coaches.
I went in their van and I'm ordering your
So
van.
when do they need to stop?
When they get up to the ball.
Okay, as they come up to the ball,
As they come up, that's perfect. Thank you.
They're trying to eavesdrop.
I'm sure if it was something from the kickoff return. Maybe Hendersonville was saying the ball came out towards the end. Either way, Station Camp will have it on its own 26. Overby, the lefty, finds Gillespie out of the backfield. And he's got room across the 35. So Bart Durham injury law, first down for the junior running back.
Man, these guys are tired out there. This is a war where everyone is giving as much as humanly possible. One thing you got to keep in mind, though, you're going to have to tackle Gillespie with more than one guy.
They're going to have to tackle Overby as he's loose down the left sideline. Colton Overby with blockers. He is in. Touchdown, Station Camp. 62 yards. The junior quarterback calling his own number with the biggest play of the night for the Bison. And Station Camp is back in front, 30-24. A long South College touchdown, the 7th rushing score of the year for Overby.
A tough rush by Overby. Please watch Eric Ginther, number 11 on your screen right there. He gets one man, he gets in front of another, he grabs the shoulder of another, and he was lead blocking and laid down the boom one more time on the edge.
The extra point is no good from Gavin Hastings. So it is a 6-point lead for Station Camp, and we'll see if that comes back around later tonight. But the Bison throw another punch with a 62-yard scamper by Colton Overby, 30-24. Well, after a scoreless first quarter, we weren't sure we were in for a shootout, but that's what it's turned into at Hendersonville. A 62-yard run by quarterback Colton Overby, and head coach Chris Bain's team is back up 30-24. Bring the boom, the shirt that is awarded to 4 players on Hendersonville's roster after a winning performance. The Commandos trying to earn one tonight on senior night, but they're back down a score after a 2-play, 74-yard drive. Yet another blow by this Station Camp offense.
They might have to give 4 of those shirts to the same guy. I don't know. That's what I'm thinking. Just stack them on the top.
We're going to see more of that guy, Tate Rumney, here on this drive as Hastings' kickoff rolls out of bounds. So back-to-back special teams miscues there for Station Camp. A missed extra point and a kickoff out of bounds.
Lucas showed me something super interesting coming out of the break. The time of possession for this game. Hendersonville has 27 minutes and 50 seconds compared to Station Camp's 11 minutes and 42 seconds. You have to imagine this Station Camp defense is just worn out by the Hendersonville run game. You can see why it's so successful this late in the game.
That was the key to the game for us before kickoff. Win time of possession. Hendersonville has done that in spades, but still trail by a touchdown. Commandos have rushed for 271 yards tonight. Tate Rumney has carried the load out of the backfield. Back to Rumney. Ball opens up. Ball is loose. Station Camp scoops it up. Gillespie is on it, and the Bison take over. Turnovers are telling the story of this game. That's the third one of the night committed by Hendersonville, and Station Camp's offense retakes the field with a 6-point lead.
This last 8 minutes of the game, it's going to take us 2 hours to get out of here. There's going to be turnovers. There's going to be explosive plays. I mean, this is just such a weird game. You could see it was forced right there by Zach Allen. His helmet hitting square on the football to allow Colin Gillespie to be able to come up with that ball. Station Camp only up 6 after missing the extra point. They have a chance to go up 2 scores here, only 40 yards to cover.
Chris Bain's team trying to take advantage. Overby on the wheel route, looking for Gillespie, who just recovered that fumble, but it's incomplete. Good coverage on the outside by Nehemiah Jackson, the linebacker.
I can't guess what's going to happen next in this game, Lucas. It has just turned into such a wild card.
Jackson playing in place of the injured Braylon Velasquez, the lead tackler for this Hendersonville defense. Made a big play on first down, and Colton Overby is stopped on second down right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. So suddenly 3rd and 10 for Station Camp after forcing the turnover.
Not taking off a lot of clock. Station Camp, they did a good job coming out of the second half by relying on their run game out of their spread, keeping the time of possession, what little they have, away from Hendersonville, but this series not doing too hot.
Overby under pressure, gets it away to Gillespie, but Hendersonville flying to the football. He's dropped for a loss of 1. And it is 4th and 11 for Station Camp. And you got to give this Commandos defense credit, Bruno. The last 2 times the offense has committed a turnover, the defense quickly on the sudden change is forced to 3 and out.
And that's a product of winning the time of possession battle. They're not as tired. They've only been out there 11-something minutes, but some ball security concerns. 4 combined fumbles this game. And I got to say, some of them, you ever see a fumble where it's like, oh, hold it up high and tight? That last one was unfortunate. Zach getting his helmet right square on the football. Those are one of the unfortunate cases.
Hastings punt. Fielded at the 5, nearly muffed by Meadows, but recovers well and goes to ground at the 15. So Hendersonville, just like that, is back on the field. Nice job by the Commandos not to give up points off the takeaway. And to your point, you got a feel for Tate Rumney there. He's having an incredible night. Over 250 rush yards. This was almost the 5th combined fumble of the night. Meadows able to hang on in the second effort.
Such a slobber knocker of a game. That's the only word I can think to describe it.
Straight back to Rumney after he fumbles the football, and he holds on to it here, but Station Camp ready for him. Forward progress marks it no gain, 2nd and 10. Tate Rumney, 31 carries, 256 yards, 1 touchdown. On senior night, the sophomore back is the one having the legacy game. This team still down by a score. Here he weaves across the 20.
Man, Hendersonville with 6 minutes, they could eat up all this clock in a theoretical 70 to 80-yard drive all the way down, and that missed extra point by Station Camp could end up being the difference, Lucas, coming down to the end of the game.
We'll see if it is. First, Hendersonville has to worry about a 3rd and 4. Whistles as Jordan was ready to take off. It's like that'll back it up for the Commandos. Tom Ritter and his crew, they've had a busy night.
Prior to the snap, false start. 22 offense, 5-yard penalty for down.
That is the 8th accepted penalty against Hendersonville for 60 yards.
Saw head coach James Beasley not agreeing with something on the field there.
3rd and 9. What do you do here if you're the Commandos? Have so much success running the football. So far, only put it in the air 10 times, completing 6 for 47 yards.
I think they're going to rush it. I mean, the first 3rd and long they had, I think it was 3rd and 10 on the first series. They immediately went to run it. So I think we're going to see them stick to the ground game.
262 yards for Rumney. They do give it to him. And he battles here across the 20, but stopped well short of the first down. Tackle there, leading the charge, was Trayson Pettis. And it's 4th down for Hendersonville with 5 minutes to go. Offense was on the field for a moment, but they will punt it away.
Probably the correct call. If they don't get it there, all Station Camp has to do is take 3 downs, run the clock out, get a field goal. They go up by 2 scores here. At least it gives them a shot to keep it within a 1-score game. Although good field position for Station Camp still.
Levi McCreary, the punter, with nobody back deep, as it rolls to the 37, and that's where Station Camp will get it back. Both teams with all 3 timeouts. Station Camp with the 6-point lead. And a chance to go down and take a 2-score lead. Week 9, both teams trying to take another step towards home field advantage in Region 6 5A. Got to finish in the top 2 to do it. Station Camp 0-1, Hendersonville 1-1. So the Bison with the game in hand, but looking for their first region win. Of course, Beach and Portland both 2-0. Beach very much in the driver's seat. Station Camp will get a crack at Portland at home on senior night in 2 weeks. Hendersonville fell to Portland back in week 6. But you gotta think a loss tonight makes it really tough. You need to win out and then hope some other things happen in your favor to finish in that top 2.
Yeah, it's essentially, if you want home field tonight, it's a must win. It's an absolute must win, and both these teams are playing like it.
Prior to the snap, false start, offense. Player set for a second. 5-yard penalty, still first down.
Yeah, starting to see those penalty flags come in a little more often here. How much does fatigue play a role, especially with the operational stuff?
I mean, it's science. You're using all that oxygen is going to your dang muscles and not your brain, so you're just out there kind of on autopilot. You rise to the level of your training in that regard.
Right up the middle here, Overby. Talked so much about his arm, a record-setting arm for Station Camp, but man, he can get it done with his legs. He's got 135 rush yards on the night. Lead rusher on the season for the Bison.
They're going to make sure they get down they're going to complete their passes. They're going to get down within the boundaries so that way that clock can keep rolling. Hendersonville doesn't have an offense built for short time situations.
He fakes the run, launches it deep down the left side. Ginther was there. It's broken up, but a flag is down.
They call that on Ford Proctor. That's going to be a PI. And, man, it did not look like from up here, at least in the first go, that he even made contact. It looked like Ford had a good hand on the football.
Pat for Sam.
So it will be a chain mover for Station Camp. Huge penalty.
Yeah, we'll take a look right here, and that was not. So one of those calls right there. Ford Proctor did a good job. He got his hand on the ball. He had no contact with the receiver, but the referee's on the field making the call.
Tough break, and the handoff here is to Pennington. He's spun down at midfield. Loss of 1. At what point, if you're Hendersonville, do you have to start to thinking about your timeouts?
You want to save them hypothetically for offense when you really need it, because we've seen that they can't operate super fast after certain busted plays essentially. So you want them for those busted plays, which they will for surely have, but I don't know if they can afford it, Lucas. Probably after this third down, they're going to have to start taking it, and it's just going to be too little time.
2nd and 11. 7 seconds on the play clock. Overby takes the snap. From behind, ball's loose. It's scooped up by Pennington. And he's dragged down at the 46. Oh, what a break for Station Camp. Nearly the 5th fumble of the game. Affected by the pressure, and it bounced right into the arms of Pennington. Pressure there applied by Brock Murray.
And a great effort play here by Nehemiah Jackson. They desperately can't let this first down go, and he comes down and makes the play in the open space.
3rd and 7 for Station Camp. They can milk about 10 more seconds of play clock here. Keeping it on the ground with Overby, trying to charge forward, but stopped well short. Jackson again in on the stop. Nehemiah Jackson has really stepped up for this Commandos defense, starting in place of Velasquez. So the Commandos come up with the stop, and Station Camp will be forced to punt it away. Timeout on the field. With 2:08 to play. Timeout taken by Hendersonville. First of the half. So let's take a look with 2:08 to go at our play of the game, with Station Camp leading Hendersonville 30-24. Presented by the Tennessee Army National Guard. Colton Overby on 4th and 10, going over the top, finding Luca Gilbert. That made it a 10-0 Station Camp lead in the second quarter.
Luca Gilbert doing a good job getting his team on the board early. That led to Station Camp going up 17-0 in that first half, right before Hendersonville was able to get 3 going into halftime and receiving. It's been a battle of blows coming up to this point, though. Station Camp currently up 6. They missed the extra point on their last touchdown. Now Hendersonville only has 2 minutes and 2 timeouts to take their run-first offense. Not much hurry up in their system all the way down. First, they got to return the punt.
Scoreless first quarter before a 17-0 Station Camp lead was met with a 17-0 run by Hendersonville to tie it up. And since then, it's been back and forth here in week 9. Bouncing into the end zone on the punt from Hastings, so touchback for Hendersonville. And the Commandos got to go 80 yards in 2 minutes with 2 timeouts for a chance to potentially win the game with a touchdown and an extra point.
Something tells me that Hendersonville is going to pull out all the stops. We could see something out of the ordinary. I know they've ran 2 trick plays that have gone their way. I wouldn't be surprised if we see those called back. Maybe some receiver screens to get the defensive linemen out of their rushes. Running back screens, could see a lot. Or we could see the same old offense. We'll see.
There's a straight drop back from Jordan. Has nothing downfield, and he checks it down over the middle. A nice completion for a first down at the 30-yard line as he finds Brock Murray.
Got to get on the ball quick. Does Hendersonville. We see everyone lining up. Different formations.
Jordan calls his own number, and he's hit down at the 30. No gain. Clock moves. Wonder if we see any of Hugo Minor on this drive, the Hendersonville quarterback that has a little bit more of an arm. They'll rotate him in occasionally this season to push the ball downfield, but for right now it is Christopher Jordan's drive. And he drops on 2nd and 10. Will take off and run. Jordan cuts upfield across the 40, has the first down.
Got to get on the football. Good job. I was a little worried. You see so many quarterbacks want to step up and run, but you got to understand the situation you're in. Luckily for Jordan, he does just enough to get the first down and stop the clock.
Going deep after a 16-yard gain, incomplete. His man tripped up at the 25, no flag, as Weston Hall got his feet tangled up on the play.
Yup, an accidental tangle will not pull enough for a pass interference. It has to be deemed intentional by the referees, but it does stop the clock and let Hendersonville huddle up. That's something that I would encourage Jordan to start to consider. Incomplete passes do let you dial up some plays, so it's not the worst thing in the world.
On 2nd and 10, under pressure, Jordan floats it out to Rumney. Across midfield, Rumney gets out of bounds. A yard into Station Camp territory to stop the clock.
Good effort play on the Station Camp defense by Trayson Pettis. The junior defensive lineman, watch number 44, come from behind. Or else Rumney is going to get a little bit more on that.
2 timeouts still in the back pocket for Hendersonville on 3rd and 5.
15 seconds left on the play clock, and they're sort of mulling out of their huddle. They got to get lined up and get set.
Week 9, senior night at Hendersonville High School. Commandos looking for a game-winning drive. They hand off to Rumney. Has blockers left side. A first down carry. Stops the clock as he scampers out of bounds.
Huge that they're able to keep these 2 timeouts. I was starting to get a little worried when they were behind their own 30 with only a minute and counting. Now they have 48 seconds, still have an opportunity to claim some yards before they have to take some shots. But still 2 timeouts.
What a night for Tate Rumney. 277 rush yards, a career high for the sophomore. Go right back to him. A nice lane opens up for Rumney as he's across the 25 and ushered out. And now Hendersonville starting to pick up some momentum on this drive. 41.6 seconds left.
Pull that backside guard and their bodies are flying. Hendersonville knows this is everything. This is the last series they get on offense, and they're playing with an extreme sense of effort. The Station Camp defense.
There is a flag down at the 36-yard line. Looked like it came in late. Tom Ritter to give us a huge call here on the defense.
They call hands to the face on Station Camp. Gotta move the ball up.
Just a massive penalty against the Bison.
During the run, personal foul, hands to the face, defense number 9. Half the distance to the goal. First down.
Chris Bain's team looking to avoid a 5th consecutive loss. They had a 17-0 second quarter lead. And now Hendersonville is in the red zone, still with 2 timeouts. And more flags are down.
A lot of frustration out of the Hendersonville team. It's time to leave the emotions out of it. I know it's a very emotional game, an emotional moment, but you're right there on the end zone.
Snap, false start, 22 offense, 5-yard penalty, still first down.
Call that on Mason Armstrong. We'll take a look. It's a clear false start. I don't know what the... Can't be upset when you do it. We caught you in 4K. This is a TV game.
So it backs it up to the 17. Line to gain is the 2. They go back to Rumney. Weaving down the left side. He dives inside the 10. Ball down to 9. Clock running.
I think it's a mistake to not use one of these timeouts right now.
Hendersonville getting on the football. Going quick here. They got it off to Rumney. And he is stopped after no gain on the play. And now that timeout will be used by head coach James Beasley with 17.3 seconds left. So Hendersonville will have one timeout remaining. Low red zone here for the Commandos. Ball is on the 9-yard line. How does this change the dynamic on how Station Camp can approach it defensively?
Well, all you have to do, because essentially if they get the first down there and score, they're in major scoring position. So there's a chance you get 2 downs. I mean, I think you have to sell out for them. Absolutely. Whatever you have pressure-wise, bring it in, especially because they're attacking those edges. They love that one-back power right there. So anything you have on the strong side, overload that side. Make them beat you with something they haven't been successful with tonight. Make them beat you with anything other than that young man right there, Tate Rumney. 36 carries, getting over the 300-yard marks with 301 yards, 1 touchdown. He did have a costly fumble right before the series, but he has just battled like a warrior to make up for it, to come down, and essentially this is Hendersonville's chance to win the game. Station Camp on the last touchdown, missing the extra point, only up by 6.
Just an unbelievable night for a player who had 421 yards in 6 games coming into today. On 3rd and 6, they'll screen it to Meadows, and he's inside the 5, still battling. Will not get to the first down, and Hendersonville will be forced to spend their 3rd and final timeout. Down at the 5 with 8.2 seconds remaining. It'll bring up 4th down, so if Hendersonville wants to stay in this thing, they cannot get the first down. Well, the first down could stop the clock.
Absolutely.
But would you have time there to get on the football?
No, absolutely not. This is going to come down 100%. This is the last play of the game. Hendersonville is going to try to rush the football. The only way we have another game is if they don't convert the 4th and Station Camp has to come out and kneel it with 1 or 2 seconds left on the clock. As you can see, there's some changing of the clock right now. This might change the way we talk about things right now.
They've added 1.8 seconds to bring the total to 10 seconds remaining.
I think if you rush it and you do get the first down, Hendersonville doesn't have the operation to get up there and get a playoff unless they call 2 in the huddle, which they're not going to do. So it's either they pass it, get that first down, and no, this is the last play of the game, Lucas. Everyone get ready.
Fourth down. Hendersonville needs the 2 for the first. Diving towards it is Jordan. He's down at the 1. He has the first down. Does not have the touchdown. The Commandos got to get on the ball and spike it.
They have to spike the football. They have to get set. They have time.
Clock stopped at 5.3. They get the spike away, and it stops at 3.8 seconds remaining. Well executed by Jordan to get down and then to get his offense on the football.
And proven by me. You see Jordan right there. I thought for sure that there would be that the play would go on long enough that Hendersonville couldn't line up and get the snap off, but they do just that, and now they have an opportunity from the 1-yard line. I think this is our closest game so far on my TV 30.
Timeout on the field. Station Camp will take their first in the second half. This is what you live for. Week 9. A must-win for the goal of home field advantage in the postseason. Senior night here at Hendersonville. Station Camp on a 4-game losing skid, trying to get right on the road. And likely 1 play remaining in this game. If you're the Hendersonville Commandos, does the ball have to go to number 3, Tate Rumney, with his 300-yard performance tonight?
Without a doubt in my mind, I know where this ball is going. We saw at the end of that series that they did want to spread it out. They went to some receiver screens, and Jordan called his own number there at the end. I think you have to go to Rumney. He's had the night he's had tonight, 100%. There is a chance they even keep him sneaking here, but I think there's just a little too much space to cover it up. I'll say this for Hendersonville. I love it. I've never felt investment like this. I'm looking out into the crowd, and I see hands on head. People look stressed in here. Other places, they're like, oh, I hope my kids have a good time. Here, they expect the win.
Memorial Stadium has been rocking tonight at historic Hendersonville High School. Everything on the line here. Handoff up the middle. Punched in. Touchdown Commandos. It's Aiden Meadows. As the clock runs out, Hendersonville is an extra point away from a walk-off win. A South College touchdown. Meadows, his second total score of the night, his 7th of the season. And they hand it to 13 out of the backfield.
Hendersonville was in this exact same situation. Their last scoring series, they get to the 1, they go in that tight formation. They gave the ball to Luke Carr on the fullback give. Well, here they changed it up. They give it to Meadows on the halfback dive with Carr leading the blocking. They convert. They're an extra point away. Now, until I see this extra point go through that upright, I am not calling anything tonight, Lucas.
Timeout on the field. Station Camp has taken their second to discuss defending this extra point. Now, the Bison special teams unit has blocked 3 punts this season. So you expect them to come after Gardner Olson here on this PAT. Olson, 15 of 18 coming into the night on extra points. He has been perfect so far tonight.
A chance to put the game away from the Hendersonville Commandos, who are hosting us tonight on MyTV30.
An extra point for the win. Snap is troubled. It's blocked. It's blocked by Station Camp, and we're headed to overtime. Wow. What a play, what a game. 4 quarters, not enough to separate these two.
The Surrender Cobras have been unleashed in the crowd here at Hendersonville High School. People cannot believe it. What a back and forth game we've had tonight.
There was trouble on the snap, but getting through and blocking it was Will Stevens of Station Camp. What a response by the Bison Special Teams unit.
Will Stevens, the senior tight end and linebacker, 6 foot, 200 pounds. I don't think we've called his name tonight. He comes up with the play that Station Camp needed the most.
A leader of the Station Camp defense, and he comes up huge on the extra point attempt. We are headed to overtime, our second overtime matchup this season on Friday Night Rivals. What a game. Scoreless opening quarter. Station Camp then picked up steam, took a 17-0 lead before halftime. Hendersonville responded 17 unanswered to tie it up, and since then it has been back and forth, blow for blow. And we will hold a coin toss at midfield to determine who will get the football first.
Let's overtime, okay?
Tom Ritter, our white hat tonight.
All right, overtime will be played with the series starting at the 10-yard line. The winner of the toss will have the choice of offense, defense. Whoever loses the toss will then choose which end of the field to play. Fair enough? Okay? Okay, here we go. Station Camp. That's a head. That's a tail. What is your call? Heads. He called heads. It is heads. You're on defense. Which end of the field do you want to play at?
We're going to play on this one.
We're going to play on this end of the field. Okay. Okay.
Sorry.
Oh, no. Okay. Yep. Station Camp won the toss and let you go on defense. We're going to play on this end of the field. First down at the 10-yard line.
So Hendersonville will take the football first in overtime. Station Camp will get the chance to play defense. OT rules in the TSSAA. Think college football, but instead of starting on the 25, both teams start on the 10, and there are no dueling extra points, or dueling two-point conversions, I should say, at any point. Once we get to a third overtime, teams have to go for 2 after scoring a touchdown, but each team will get a chance from the 10. So Station Camp gets the opportunity to try and get a stop and see what they might need for a potential win.
Yeah, when you think of these rules, think Texas A&M LSU a la 2018, where we went to about 7 or 8 overtimes. It is technically possible to reach some maniacal levels of football tonight.
It feels like we're already there. What a game it's been here in Sumner County. Glad to have you with us. Lucas Panzica, Bruno Reagan in the booth, Sammy Kincaid downstairs. Friday Night Rivals, Week 9 action in Region 6 5A. Jordan pulls the handoff, takes it up the middle, and he is down near the 5. Goal-to-go situations throughout overtime, so first downs at this point are out the window.
Man, both these offenses in the fourth quarter, it feels like they're just automatic on scoring. The only exception is when they turn the ball over. You have to imagine that might be the thing that puts this game away, is whoever turns it over next.
Rumney with Jordan in the backfield. They'll give it to him, and he meets a pile and is brought down. Swallowed up. Will Stevens, who had the block on the PAT, in on the tackle, and it brings up 3rd and goal. Maybe picked up half a yard. Ball spotted at the 4. Check that. Ball is on the 3-yard line for Hendersonville. Back to Rumney. Left side. Tackled from behind. It's 4th down. Stop was made by Trayson Pettis. And now decision time for the Commandos. With the ball inside the 5, do they go for the touchdown or for the field goal advantage after having a PAT blocked?
I think I have an idea on what Hendersonville, specifically Coach Beasley, wants to do. I think they're going to go for it all.
Each team does have a timeout to work with here in the extra period.
See the signal right there. Timeout from Hendersonville.
Yeah, James Beasley wants to talk about it. What a duel it's been between two head coaches that have plenty of ties across the sideline. We mentioned Chris Bain in his 3rd year at Station Camp. 15 seasons as an assistant coach here at Hendersonville High School. James Beasley, an alum of Hendersonville, class of 1998. Longtime assistant here before being promoted to replace the legendary Bruce Hatfield 8 years ago. And Hendersonville really has had a commanding lead in the series, 15-2 the advantage. Station Camp has not defeated Hendersonville since 2013. But none of that on the minds of either of those men tonight. It's all about picking up a huge region win in Week 9 for a chance at hosting come playoff time. Fourth and goal from the 3. Hendersonville's going to go. Jordan fakes the give. Up the middle. Touchdown, Hendersonville.
Fake out the camera crew. Jordan calling his own number. Our player to watch coming in tonight. Commandos strike first in overtime.
A South College touchdown. Christopher Jordan, the junior quarterback. 36-30.
I mean, just violent blocking by that. Pulling guard and tackle. Or excuse me, the zone side guard and tackle for the Hendersonville Commandos.
And now an extra point after it was blocked at the end of regulation. Olsen gets another try, and this time makes no mistake. So Station Camp needs a touchdown and an extra point to force a second OT.
Feels like such a long time since Overby has had the football in his hands. It's going to be interesting to see how they react. We can take a look. It was a double gap scheme pull. Watch the finish. So many gray jerseys in the end zone.
Fourth downs have had such an impact tonight. Now each team has a fourth down touchdown. Hendersonville now 3 of 5 on fourth downs after turning it over on downs in their first 2. They have converted on their last 3. Meanwhile, Station Camp is 2 for 2. We'll see if it gets to that point for the Bison. Start from the 10, needing to find Pater. Gutsy performance tonight from Christopher Jordan. So Colton Overby, on what has already been a record-breaking night in his Station Camp career, comes out trying to force another overtime. He calls his own number on 1st and 10. Hendersonville's all over it. A gang of Commandos slicing in. Mason Grimmick leading the charge. Correction, Marco Giordani. And it's a loss of 1. But the first hit there put on by E.J. Simmons.
Great job by E.J. Simmons.
Overby going right up the middle again in the run game. Takes a tackle and just fights his way across the 10. Are you surprised Station Camp hasn't put it in the air?
Not at all. They know that they have just as strong of a will and a run game. That's all run game is. It's willing things to what you want. They know Overby has the opportunity to go out there. He's such a big body that can be just as powerful and just as elusive as anyone else. I think I'm not surprised in the slightest they're letting him just go out and deal it with his legs.
Timeout on the field. Hendersonville, no, Station Camp rather, has taken their timeout of overtime. 3rd and goal from the 9. Obviously 4-down territory for Station Camp. Colton Overby tonight, 20 carries for 135 yards and a touchdown. He's completed 11 of 21 pass attempts for 136 yards and 2 touchdowns. So how much are you considering a potential 4th down here if you're Station Camp? And balancing playing for the end zone or playing for a better 4th down situation?
It's a good question. I think you have to take your 2 shots to the end zone right now. Not even try and cut down in half. If whatever you're calling on this 3rd down, plan to score. Whatever you're calling on 4th down, obviously plan to score.
Chris Bain looking on. Overby will throw. Fires over the middle. Touchdown, Eric Ginther. His number 1 man all season. Long-time teammates. And they connect once again. Station Camp an extra point away from forcing a second OT.
Offensive line just giving Overby just enough time and Ginther getting the spacing. Now it's decision time. Are we going to go for the 2 and the win on the road at Hendersonville? Or are we going to play for a second overtime? It all comes down to this.
Station Camp's going for the win. Jameer Alexander out of the Wildcat. Takes the snap, looking to go straight up the middle. Second effort, no. Hendersonville wins. A senior night to remember for the Commandos. A game-winning stop on the 2-point try. And Hendersonville wins 37-36 in overtime. What a comeback. What a game in Week 9 on Friday Night Rivals.
I love the attempt to go for them too, but after the game he's had such a good game, but Hendersonville able to take away from the boundary. That was Tegan Parisic, excuse me. They're in first, getting it and finishing it for Hendersonville. And what has been just such a this is the most back and forth game I've called in my 3 years of Friday Night Rivals. Intense down to the end.
absolute thriller tonight in Sumner County. And Station Camp will take a gutting loss, a 5th consecutive loss for the Bison. And Hendersonville moves on to 4-3, student section spilling out onto the field. A special senior night in Sumner County. So Hendersonville comes up with the game-winning stop, but we'll go back to a Station Camp play for our stop of the game.
This is the school bus stop of the game. Always remember to stop when the school bus arm is out.
Hendersonville was threatening in the third quarter, but Caden Moore using those receiver skills at corner, picking it off on the goal line.
Absolutely. He was the only reason I think Station Camp had an opportunity to come back with it. A great play by Moore.
This is the school bus stop of the game. Always remember to stop when the school bus arm is out.
But, of course, Hendersonville comes up with the stop that matters most on the 2-point try out of the Wildcat. Jameer Alexander stuffed up the middle by Tegan Parasek. And the Commandos, winners tonight in overtime. And we'll hear from Hendersonville and their football team on the other side. A thriller in Hendersonville, and one they'll remember for a long time around here. The Commandos get it done. 37-36 the final in overtime over Station Camp in Week 9. As we welcome you back, post-game coverage on My TV 30. Lucas Panzica, Bruno Reagan with you. We will hear from Sammy Kincaid, head coach James Beasley, and his football team in a moment. But first, the player of the game, presented by UA Local 572. And man, this is an easy one, Bruno, as the sophomore running back, Tate Rumney, had a night to remember, a career affair, 39 carries, 305 yards, and 1 touchdown.
Tate Rumney really just burst onto the scene in his late Week 9 game, and he's our UA Local player of the game. Over 300 yards. Only had one real unfortunate play where the helmet of Zach Allen gets on top of the football and forces a fumble, but otherwise, the underclassman, the hero of the night.
Came into tonight with 421 yards on the season through 6 games, and he went ahead and got pretty close to matching that in one night, going for 305. A night that Tate Rumney certainly will never forget. the young Hendersonville running back, as they get it done in the extra period. Man, what a game. Commandos improved to 4-3, more importantly, 2-1 in region play, as they have a great opportunity now to close out the season against Shelbyville and Beach on the road and potentially host in the postseason. But they'll enjoy this one tonight, and we'll send it downstairs. Sammy Kincaid alongside James Beasley and his football team.
Coach Beasley, I know you're proud of these guys right here. You said that they have to execute the plays that we're telling them to do. Safe to say they did that in the second half, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, they did a great job. We came out in the second half and set the tone with the touchdowns back-to-back and the turnover right there. So I'm really proud of them. They fought till the end of the game, and give credit to the other team. They fought till the end of the game. We made one more play when it mattered.
And just then you were talking about how this was a team effort, a full team win. I just saw you giving out some T-shirts. What are those T-shirts that y'all were just giving out?
We got Coach Bliss gives those out to the guys. They're boom shirts for the guys who make big plays in the game.
Well, there's a lot of guys that made some big plays tonight, and I don't want to delay this any longer. So here you go. I think that you get
A well-deserved celebration tonight. Hendersonville get it done in overtime on senior night over Station Camp. What a game it was as the Commandos rally back from down 17 and force an overtime period and the win. Remember to join us next week on MyTV 30 Sports, Friday, October 24th. We'll keep the fun going for a Region 5 matchup featuring the undefeated Antioch Bears. What a season they're having. They travel to Clarksville, the old stopping grounds of one Bruno Reagan, to take on the Wildcats. Should be a great one. Friday Night Rivals coverage begins at 7 p.m. right here on MyTV 30 Sports. Hope to see you there. But for now, all of us would like to take a moment to thank the wonderful sponsor partners, the Tennessee Army National Guard, UA Local 572, and Sonic, who, through their contributions to the program, make these games possible for you viewers at home. We'd also like to thank our other great sponsor supporters for their contributions to the 2025 Friday Night Rivals telecasts. The United States Navy, BMC Metalworks, Bart Durham Injury Law, South College, Wilson Bank and Trust, Western Kentucky University, and Josh Houston and Associates. And we would especially like to thank tonight's participating high schools and their administrators for their continued support. Station Camp High School and our host, Hendersonville High School. From our partner Bruno Reagan, Sammy Kincaid down on the field, I'm Lucas Panzica signing off. We will see you next week in Clarksville. The final score tonight, Hendersonville 37, Station Camp 36 in overtime.